Shalom, Israel, giving honor to the Most High in His Son, Yahweh. We are the Battle Axes of the Most High, coming at you with another Sabbath class to get edified in the Most High God's name. We always want to give praise and glory to our Maker for letting us see another glorious Sabbath. Let's make sure we give the Most High God some praise for giving us another Sabbath, man. I said, let's make sure we give the Most High God some praise. Let's make sure we give another Sabbath. Sometimes these things come and we just get into the flow of things. But this itself is a blessing to see another Sabbath from the Most High God. So want to make sure that we praise Him, give Him honor and glory for seeing this Sabbath day, that we can come outside of the world, come together with like-minded brothers and sisters, get edified in the name of the Most High God, don't have to worry about going out there and being in the work. So today's class, we're starting our dedication tonight. Today's class, we're going to rededicate your life, the temple, or your life, because the rededication of the temple is your body. We know the temple is your body. So that'll be the class today. We'll do a lot of reading, like I said, but we're going to look at some of our forefathers, how they rededicated themselves, their lives. We're also going to show you that the Apocrypha is candid for us understanding that this is our only place that we can receive the understanding of the dedication. I know I've been wanting to say that word well. So with that being said, like we said, I'll pray to the Most High God for this class. We pray that He edifies us today to give a true and knowledgeable lesson to the nation. Let's start out with Old Faithful, Judges 5 and 11. Old Faithful. Get there, you bring it out.
The book of Judges, chapter 5, verse 11.
Bring it out.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers.
They that are delivered. They is not everybody. Those that are delivered from the noise of archers, right? Read.
In the places of drawing water.
In the places of drawing water in their servitude. Everybody was not in servitude of any other nation like the Israelites were. This is going to the Israelites. They that are delivered from the noise of archers, going into them nukes, man. And read that again.
They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water.
In their servitude, in the places of drawing water, is going into their servitude, right? Right, servitude going into their slavery. Read.
There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
I'm glad you put an emphasis on that. There. Where are we at in captivity right now? We're here in America, right? There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord, right? We're not waiting no other time. We ain't got time to wait because we need to learn these things right now. Because these are the things that we're going to be doing in the kingdom. These rehearsals of righteous acts are what we're doing. When you rehearse something, what are you doing?
Right.
To what? To do it, right? You going on a rehearsal for a dance competition. You rehearsing because you finna dance sooner or later. You want to make sure that dance is choreographed perfect. So you want to make sure that you rehearse that act so that when you do get to that dance, you don't have no mistakes, right? That's what this is about. We're rehearsing these righteous acts right now. So when the kingdom does come, we are making sure that we have everything in line and order when it's set up. This is how we're going to get into that new covenant, man. Because these are the things that we're going to be learning and knowing. They're going to be in our minds now, right? We're not going to have to teach and know because now we're doing it. Now we understand. The 9th month, guess what? It's dedication time, right? In the winter, right? Read that again from the top.
Judges chapter 5, verse 11. They that are delivered from the noise of archers in the places of drawing water. There,
read,
shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord.
That's heavy. There shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. You come in the Sabbath class. You're rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord. You keeping the new moon, which we do, Lord willing, Tuesday. That's rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord here in our captivity. This is a heavy precept, man. Right? These are righteous acts that we're rehearsing right now. Brothers, right? Not cutting your beards, man, letting your hair grow, man. These, being stand-up men, right? Women wearing modest apparel, covering your head when the scriptures come out. These are the righteous rehearsals that we have to do in order to get ready for the kingdom. When the Most High come back and he said, Christ, baby, what you gonna say? I can't use you, brother. You still don't know how to keep the tabernacle. You still don't know how to keep the new moon. You ain't never kept no Sabbath, true Sabbath. I can't use you. So we want to make sure that we are vessels being used for the Most High God. Let's go to let's see some of our forefathers right quick that kept the dedication. Let's go to 2 Chronicles 7 and 5. So our forefathers did some of these same righteous rehearsals, man.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 5.
Bring it out.
And King Solomon offered a sacrifice of 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep.
Start up at verse 4. Read 4 again.
2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 4. Then the king and all the people offered sacrifices before the Lord.
It said they offered sacrifices before the Lord, right? Read.
And King Solomon offered a sacrifice of 22,000 oxen and 120,000 sheep.
Read.
So the king and all the people dedicated the house of God.
What did the king and all the people do?
Dedicated the house of God.
They did what?
Dedicated the house of God.
They dedicated the house of God by throwing up sacrifice. Now, you know, we don't sacrifice right now. What is our sacrifice now? Our bodies. This is why that's what we're going into with the Feast of Dedication. Sacrifice or rededicating your life to the Most High God. Read on.
Verse 6. And the priests waited on their offices. The Levites also with instruments of music of the Lord.
See how they had a feast, man. They had a great, joyous time rededicating their lives back to the Most High God. And that's how we should be, man. We should be joyous and glad that we have opportunity to bring ourselves back to the Most High God's laws, man. A lot of people don't have this opportunity. A lot of people weren't able to get this, man. A lot of people are still out here walking dead. But the Most High God just happened to open your mind and say, well, I'm going to take the veil off your eyes. I'm going to uncover your face now so you can see what's really going on. Because how many people do we prophesy to and they never get it? We done prophesied, we done went out to camp and all 4 of us of the captain done prophesied it to the same brother or the same sister for 2-3 hours, and they left the camp still having their veil over their eyes. But just so happened that the Most High God woke each and every one of us up and took that veil off our eyes. They said they had music. They was glad. That's what you got to put your mindset on. Read 6 again.
Verse 6. And the priests waited on their office. The Levites also with instruments of music of the Lord.
Music, instruments of music for the Lord. You know, they had the harps and the trembles and things back then. They going at it, right? Having a great time. Read.
Which David the king had made to praise the Lord, because his mercy endureth forever. When David praised by their ministry, and the priests sounded trumpets before them, and all Israel stood.
So you see that the priests sounded trumpets, man. Trumpets, something. What are trumpets used for? Sound the alarm, but also what? Gathering, sign for feast, right? So this is what we're going into. You see that even Solomon, in his time, what? They rededicated their lives of going into the Feast of Dedication, right? Good. That's what I think.
And you see how I'm breaking this thing down, and you can see how the people of Israel, how we move. They was prepared. They was ready for the dedication, man. Right? And this is how we need to be looking at too. Is our heart and is our mind ready for the piece of dedication? Is we ready to really go into dedicating ourselves to the Lord? Because a lot of us, when we think about piece of dedication, now we just think about let's go have a good time and just a party. But they was prepared. They minds was right. Their heart was right, man. Right? And they was ready to serve the Lord, whatever it took, man.
Be kind on that. And that's exactly what this class is for. We always want to celebrate and do the will of the Father as he commanded us to do. But you want to be in the spiritual realm of what we're doing this for. I always say that, man. Yeah, we're going to Tabernacle. We're having a great time at Tabernacle. But remember what we're doing it for. Yeah, we're going into the dedication. We're having a good time for to celebrate the dedication. But remember why you're celebrating, man. Right? Same thing with Passover, Purim, all these high holy days that the Most High God give us, man. You have a great time, but you always want to remember why you're having a great time. What the Most High God set it up for, right? It's okay to come and have a great time with the Most High God, but you better know why you damn celebrate, right? You better know why and what's going on. Why you having such a great time? Like, why would you go celebrate the destruction of Nicanor? You don't know who the hell Nicanor is and what happened,
That's
right? But when you get to understand the destruction of Nicanor, now we cut that dude's head off. Yeah, gave us showing. Now you go and celebrate and have a great time. Now that celebration is made of effect now because you really know what's going on. So that's what the class is, man, to know and understand your feast days and why you celebrate. Go ahead.
And because I guarantee you, everybody know why do they celebrate 4th of July? For independence, right?
Right.
You know that because they teach you that, right? Why do you celebrate Christmas? Jesus' birthday. Guess what? Joyful time of the year, get with the family. Guess why people celebrate that? Guess why? But they do that in wickedness.
That's right.
Right? If they teach you everything in wickedness and want you to celebrate that, do this in righteousness and learn this to celebrate this. Y'all should be wanting to learn this, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's right.
This should be filling our hearts up, man. Right? Full of joy, knowing that we in the dedication or going to come into the dedication. Man.
That's right. Let's go to Ezra chapter 6, verse 16. Get some more accounts of our forefathers rededicate. Let's stay there. Come on. Let's go back to 2 Chronicles 7. Let's jump down to verse 8.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 7, verse 8. Also, at the same time, Solomon kept the feast 7 days, and all Israel with him, a very great congregation from the entering in of Hamath unto the river of Egypt. Verse 9, and in the 8th day, they made a solemn assembly, for they kept the dedication of the altar 7 days, and the feast 7 days.
So you see that? It said they kept the dedication of the altar. How many days? Read.
It's like 7 days. And on the 20th day,
I'll read 9 again.
And on the 8th day, they made a solemn assembly, for they kept the dedication of the altar 7 days, and the feast 7 days.
You see that? So you now a lot of people like to say, oh, they talking about the tabernacle. They talking about the tabernacle and the feast of dedication. You see that? Y'all see that? The feast that they kept for 7 days was the tabernacle, but then the rededicating of the altar the 7 days and the 8th day assembly, that was what? Feast of dedication. That's a great point. I'm glad I can let me make it past that, man. I was about to go past. So y'all see that? Praise it. So you see Solomon showed great commemoration for the Most High God, but also rededicating the temple or showing why, or rehearsing a righteous act. Let's go to Ezra 6 and 16. Like I said, get a few accounts of our forefathers celebrating it, and then go into some of the history to show why they did these things. Ezra 6 and 16.
The book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 16.
Bring it out.
And the children of Israel, the priest and the Levite, and the rest of the children of the captivity, kept the dedication of this house of God with joy.
With what?
With joy.
So the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the children of the captivity. It's going into the whole, the northern and the southern kingdom, right? Read.
Verse 17. And offered at the dedication of this house of God 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a sin offering for all Israel,
Read.
12 he-goats, according to the number of the tribes of Israel.
Read 16 again, man, because I don't want to go past that point, man.
Verse 16 from the top. And the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the children of the captivity kept the dedication of this house of God with joy.
With what?
With joy.
Hey, man, we don't need to see no pale faces, man. Right? We don't need to see no, oh, woe is me. Not right now. Not right now. Right? Because those things, what do? They're trickling down on somebody else. And now you got 2 people out of this, man. You got 3 people with the woe in this mean. And we ain't got time for that, man. Because we finna celebrate this dedication with joy and gladness, man. So whatever it is, man, what? Gird up your loins, sisters, gird up your skirts. Right. Go through it. Hey, we'll worry about it after the dedication. For real, man. Because we got a celebration to do. We got a joyous occasion on the hand right now. We got a spectacular dealing that our forefathers did, and why we are going to commemorate and celebrate them. And we ain't got time to be woe in this meat, right? Read 17 again.
Verse 17. And offered at the dedication of this house of God 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a sin offering for all Israel 12 he-goats, according to the number of the tribes of Israel. Verse 18, and they set the priests in their divisions and the Levites in their courses for the service of God, which is at Jerusalem, as it is written in the book of Moses. So rededicating the temple, celebrating these feast days, they're all written in the book of Moses, right? Where can you go and find your high holy days? Leviticus chapter 23. Where can you find the feast of dedication? Can you find Leviticus 23? Can you, Lance? Can you?
No.
Where you gotta go find it? You gotta go to your apocrypha. This is your Greek captivity. This is where you get an understanding of your Greek captivity in your apocrypha, man. That's what we tell brothers and sisters, man. They love Christian apologetics and they love to talk about, oh yeah, we don't deal with that. Who gives a damn what you deal with? Oh yeah, we don't credit that. Well, we don't give a damn what you credit. The Most High God credits this thing, man. We don't care. Oh, we don't deal with it. We better bring out a precept of Maccabees, I tell you that. Well, don't go to Maccabees, we finna go to Maccabees. Well, don't go to Sirach, we finna go to Sirach. I don't care what you're talking about. This is our Greek captivity, man. The main way, I'm telling you, the main way to conform Christian apologetics or anybody who don't believe in the Apocrypha is take them to where? See if y'all know where I go. My main. Take them where? When you want to show them that the Apocrypha is candid, that this is. John 10 is cool. I'm gonna go to what? I'm gonna go to the Compact Bible Dictionary. And where am I gonna go? I'm gonna go to the Zonovan. That's what I just said. I'm gonna go to King James. And what did King James do? Anybody got the Zonovan? Read that, Donovan. Go to Bible right quick, man. Go to Bible and go to Bible King James. This is why we use what the King James Bible, because we see that he had it authorized to be wrote and written into from Greek to English, right? But let's see what else he did with it.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 86.
Mm-hmm.
Bible, the King James Version. When Elizabeth died in 1603, the crown passed to James I, who had been King of Scotland for 37 years as James VI. Several months after he ascended the throne of England, he authorized a new translation of the Bible to replace the Bishop's Bible.
Okay.
47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars of the day.
Not just no any old niggas. 47 of the best Hebrew and Greek scholars, man, at that time, right? Read.
Of the day were divided into 6 groups.
They were divided into 6 groups. Read.
3 for the Old Testament.
3 for the Old Testament.
2 for the New.
2 for the New Testament. How many is that? 5. He said he had 6, right? So we missing one. Let's see what the other group was.
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
And 1 for the what?
And 1 for the Apocrypha.
Come on, man. This thing been in our Bible, man. And then it's proven fact that, like, I got the 1611 King James, it's inside of his Bible, man. And anybody else who buys the 1611 King James, your Apocrypha is on the inside of your Bible. Like we said, this is the only way you go and understand your Greek captivity and the Apocrypha. You know, I wasn't big on history like that. I didn't give a damn about history because I guess I didn't care about the white people, so-called white people. But coming into this truth, right, getting around my bruise, man, and like, man, you need to get into this history, man. You need to learn more history. And the only way that you can put it all together is with the Apocrypha. Because if you don't, you're going to have a big time gap. From your Persian Mede captivity to your Roman captivity, you're going to have a what? A big time gap. The way you can't puzzle it together. That's why you got to go to your Apocrypha, right? So who cares what they thinking, man, about the Apocrypha? Go ahead.
Even what I'm touching on, man, is a great point. That's why the Most High God got those precepts in there, like Deuteronomy 4 and 2. Revelations, thou shalt not add unto the word and do what? Don't diminish from it.
That's right.
That precept is literally aimed at Esau, man.
It is.
Read verse 17 right quick on where we was at. In Ezra. Read verse 17 right quick.
Yeah, we know that. Appreciate it.
The book of Ezra, chapter 6, verse 17 from the top. And offered at the dedication of this house of God 100 bullocks, 200 rams, 400 lambs, and for a sin offering for all Israel, 12 he-goats, according to the number of the tribes of Israel.
So like you jump up to verse 16.
Verse 16, and the children of Israel, the priests and the Levites, and the rest of the children of the captivity.
Of the what?
Of the captivity.
Because even during that time, what captivity were they in? Any brother know? See them heads go down. What captivity was they in?
That's right.
And guess what? Jump down to verse 18.
Verse 18. And they set the priests in their division, and the Levites in their courses for the service of God.
Meaning what? They started to get things back in order. They started to do what? Rededicate themselves back to the Most High God. That's similar to what we're doing right now. In this captivity, what are we doing? Getting our things back in order, getting our spirit back into what? Dedicating it back to the Most High God. Right. Making our bodies a living sacrifice. Going through the history. Going through the traditions that our forefathers did and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. Go ahead, Art.
Big con on that. And verse 18, you see that for the service of God, man. Who is that service of God for? The children of Israel, man. According to what? Romans what? 9 and 4, man. So it's just key words that should jump out and let you know, hey, this is for us, by us, that full effect, right? Let's go to Numbers chapter 7. Let's get an account with even Moses, man. We've always, all of our seers or our judges or our prophets of old, they always rededicated themselves, man. We always had a time where we fell off and we had to do what? Rededicate ourselves back to the Most High God. We'll fall off again and rededicate ourselves back to the Most High God. This was a continual effect, man. And it's the same thing today, right? We fell off, man. But now you got a classroom full of brothers and sisters. You got brothers and sisters online. You got brothers all around the four corners of the earth with all kind of different camps that are now trying to rededicate their lives back to the temple, right? With the leaders that the Most High God has gave us, that remnant that He's gave us, right? The elders, right? That has gave us this truth right now through the Most High God, through the Spirit. So this is the thing that has always occurred to Israel. Numbers 7 and 1.
The book of Numbers, chapter 7, verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle.
Had did what?
Had fully set up the tabernacle.
Moses had fully set up the tabernacle. What is the tabernacle going into? The house. And in this case, that's why I want to, because you think the tabernacle is the house. Your tabernacle is also going into a house, not the feast tabernacle, not the tent, but He set up the tabernacle, the house of God, right? Read.
So and it came to pass on that day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle and had anointed and sanctified.
So he had fully set it up. He had got it right where we needed it in the Most High God's eyes, right? He had fully set up the house of God. Read on.
And all the instruments thereof, both the altar and all the vessels thereof.
You see how this going into the house of the Most High God? The altar and the vessels, right? Read.
It had anointed them and sanctified them.
And He anointed them and sanctified them. Read.
That the priests of Israel, heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them that were numbered offered.
You see that? So we were offering at that time, right? Throwing up sacrifices, like we said. Now we're offering our lives. Read.
And they brought their offering before the Lord. 6 covered wagons.
Read.
And 12 oxen. A wagon for 2 of the princes, and for each one an ox. And they brought them before the tabernacle.
And they brought them before the house of God. Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar.
They did what?
And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar.
For dedicating of the altar. Right? This is a continual thing with Israel. We always had to rededicate. When you put an RE in front of something, that means you have to do it again, right? Read 10 again.
And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar. And the day that it was anointed.
Read.
Even the princes offered their offering before the altar. And the Lord said unto Moses, they shall offer their offerings, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar.
So you see that even Moses, our father, our beloved brother Moses, man, they even rededicated the temple of the Most High God. So we get continual accounts of our forefather Solomon, the children of Israel, the northern and the southern kingdom of Israel. Then you go into the Numbers and see even Moses. They all rededicated their lives or the temple, man, right? Trying to get the house of God right. And that's what we're trying to do today. We're trying to rededicate our lives to make sure that the house of God is in full effect, man. That there's no blemishes or spots when you come into the house of the Most High God, right? That's why we own brothers and sisters, but that's why we do counsel all the time, right? Because this is rededicating the temple, and we can't have spots and blemishes in this temple, man. This thing was holy, man. This thing was separate. He just stayed in there, man. Right? Let's go to Romans 12. Let's start at 1 out.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 1.
Bring it out.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God.
By the mercies of God, man. I beseech you by the mercies of God, man. The mercies of God is going into what? Our forefathers, man. Seeing our brothers and sisters go through things, man, and come up out of those things. That's the mercies of God. That's what He beseeches us by. Read.
That you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
And guess what? That's what we're trying to do. The mercies of God, what? That we what? The Most High God was merciful enough to let what? Moses rededicate the temple, to let what? Solomon rededicate the temple, to let the Israelites rededicate the temple. Those are the mercies of God that he's beseeching us by, right? That we make our bodies now a living sacrifice, right? No longer are we sacrificing bullocks and lambs and he-goats, but now we are giving our body back to the Most High God. Read.
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God.
Acceptable unto God, man. This is in my prayer a lot, that whatever I do is acceptable to the Most High God, man. When we celebrate this feast day this week, we pray that the Most High God gives acceptance to our celebration, man, right? That we're doing it in its right season, in its right form, in its right fashion, so that it will be acceptable to the Most High God. So we want to bring our lives back to the Most High. We can't bring a filthy garment back to the Most High God. You can't bring that old man back to the Most High God. Oh, here you go, Lord. Dirty as all. What Maccabee? That's how they Maccabee with that. You dirty ass. You bring your dirty. You know what I'm saying? Want to bring your dirty self to the Most High God. Oh, here you go, Lord. Lord can't deal with that, man. You got to come back clean, man, without spot, man. Right? That's what he said. I beseech you by the mercies of God that you make your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. Man. Holy is going into what? That we are separated from the world. That we are not doing the things that we used to do, man. Right? Read, huh?
That ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
That's the least you can do, Israel. Right. That's the least you can do. Is give your life back over to the Most High God as he gave Christ for the church, man. That's the least you can do, man. Come, get into this classroom, get understanding, get built up, brothers and sisters, man. Learn your nationality, learn your forefathers, learn the Bible, put on the armor of the Most High God. That's your reasonable service, man. That's the least you can do. Go ahead. Benaniyah.
Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 8 and verse 3. Because also with the altar, I've been bringing out a great point. We're giving what? Making our bodies a living sacrifice. Remember, these things are all symbolic to bring us to Christ. Like we say, Moses did it on a physical scale. With the physical sacrificing, you know, we sacrifice upon the altar, then that sweet savor of this smoke went up. Guess what else we should be sending up? Our prayers.
That's right.
As we giving sacrifices, making our bodies a living sacrifice, we want to rededicate our prayers to the Most High God too, to keep us in the spirit, to keep us in the fear of his laws, statutes, and commandments, and to keep us enduring in his work. These are things that brothers and sisters must constantly pray for, keep you in the spirit. You know, brothers and sisters deal with staying in and out of the spirit, man. Read this out.
The book of Revelation, chapter 8, verse 3. And another angel came and stood at the altar.
At the what?
At the altar.
Read on up.
Having a golden censer.
That golden censer, what we have at Capt, to where the what we put the frankincense in. Read on up.
And there was given unto him much incense. That he should offer.
That he should what?
That he should offer.
Read on up.
With the prayers.
With the what?
With the prayers.
Read on up.
Of all saints. Upon the golden altar, which was before the throne.
So we see this is also symbolic of us sending up our prayers to the Most High God. That altar, man, we have to think about these things in the spirit, brothers and sisters, man, as we rededicate our spirits back to the Most High. Read on up.
Verse 4. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints.
With the what?
With the prayers of the saints.
We want the Most High God to do what? To hear our prayers, man, in this captivity. That's why it's pivotal that we do what? Give it our all when we practice this righteous rehearsal. When we're trying to keep the dedication, when we're trying to keep the Passover. Brothers, it's pivotal that brothers and sisters do what? Be in the spirit, man. A lot of times, brothers and sisters, I know a lot of times you don't think about this. When we have new brothers and sisters, sometimes those spirits can see what brothers and sisters not in the spirit. It's our job to always do what? Set the example for new brothers and sisters when they come in, man. This could either bring brothers and sisters to the truth or it can tear them away sometimes, man. Read on up.
So like, and the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints.
Read on up.
Ascended up before God.
Ascended up before who?
Ascended up before God.
We don't know.
Out of the angel's hand.
So we also want to understand that altar is for what? Spiritual sacrifices is also for our prayers too. That brothers and sisters need to be throwing up during this time, man. Go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead.
What angel is sending a prayer? Give me a precept, man.
October 12 and 15.
Let's go get that right quick, man. Because that's what the angel Raphael is doing, man. He's taking our prayers up and presenting it to the Most High God, man. All right. We want to make sure brother and sister had it written down right there. He said on that verse 4, when it says ascending up before God out of the angel's hand. What angels is he talking about, right? Go to Tobit chapter 12, verse 15. When you get there, let's read it.
The book of Tobit, chapter 12, verse 15. I am Raphael, one of the 7 holy angels,
Right, read.
which present the prayers of the saints.
Y'all see that? Which presents the prayers of the saints, right? Read.
And which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One.
So we make sure you brothers and sisters, y'all write that down beside it, man, too, so you can have that precept too. Go ahead,
Big con on that. And like I said, man, a great point that Benaniyah said, man, you know, a new brother or sister come in here, shit, they still got a lot of wickedness on them. They can what? They can see another wicked spirit.
That's right.
Wicked can see wicked.
Just like me.
Oh shit. Well, you took the words right out. Oh shit, you the same as me. Oh yeah, you wicked. Oh yeah, they can see that. That's why it's up to us to make sure that we do this thing right.
Because guess what they say? Oh, I know I can get with her. Oh, I know I can get with him. Guess what? Because guess what? Evil love evil just like misery love company. Guess what? Evil love evil too.
That's right.
Guess what? Good love good.
That's right.
Light love light, dark love dark.
That's right. Just like that, man. That's why we gotta make sure that we come and rededicate our lives, man, and do it properly, man.
That's right.
Acceptable to the Most High God, man. Because then, guess what? You'll start putting blemishes on the Lord's name, man, and you don't want that, man. Right? You the reason that somebody didn't get into the truth. You don't know how hard this gonna be on you, man. You don't want to do that, man. Somebody see your actions and say, "Oh, nah, I ain't getting the truth. That brother that just showed me that truth definitely ain't for me."
That's right.
Or that sister just showed me that definitely ain't for me. Now you're making the ministry blame.
That's right.
And that's a problem, man, right? Go back to 1 Corinthians. It's like Romans, where I'm at. Go back to Romans 12 and read verse 2. So that's our living, that's our reasonable service, is to what? Bring back our lives to the Most High God, rededicate our lives to the Most High God, man. That's our reasonable service. That's the least that we can do, given that the Most High God is giving us grace each and every day to wake up and to try to come out of this world. That's the least we can do. Verse 2.
The book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
And the Bible says, don't be conformed to this world. See, we were conformed to this world. Why do we gotta rededicate the temple? Why? Why do we gotta rededicate our lives? And then why do we have to rededicate the temple? We just read it. Because we were conformed to this world. Thank you, Brother Judah. All praise. We had to rededicate the temple each and every time because we were conforming to the world. That's why. And the Bible says, read 2 again.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
Bring it out.
And be not conformed to this world.
Don't be conformed or changed to this world when you already have the best of the best. You already are the greatest. You already have the one true God. Don't be conformed to this world. Don't go back into doing what? Easter, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. No, don't conform to this world. Read.
But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
But come back to your laws, man. Come back to your Sabbaths, man. Come back to your new moons. Come back to your feast of dedications. Come back to your Passovers. Right? Your feast of Purim, man. Your feast destruction of Nicanors. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This is why we have to rededicate the temple, because we conformed to the world. Right? Read.
that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable and perfect will of God.
And that's the only way that you can prove what the will of God is and what is acceptable of God. If you don't be conformed to this world and you stay what on that grounded on that what's the word I'm looking for? Foundation. Thank you. Praise. I'll pray that you come back and stay on the foundation that the Most High God gave you, man. Right? Go ahead, Doc.
And that part is heavy where I was going to that prove what is good. To prove. That's why you got to rededicate, because we got to prove to our God that we need him. Hey, Lord, we got to prove to our God that, hey, we can stand up as a nation and really rule this world again.
That's right.
We got to prove to our God, man.
That's exactly right.
Because guess what, man? We told our God in 7 major captivities that we'll do what he tell us to do. We told him that, man, all that he say, we gonna do. And what did we do? Not when we see it, right? So we got to prove this to our God that we literally gonna do this, man.
That's right.
Right? Go ahead.
Because so you want to stay on that foundation, man. That's the only way that you prove yourself, by coming back to his law. Let's get this other account, man. Who else kept the feast of dedication? Christ, I'll praise. Let's go to John. Chapter 10. Uh, 22.
The book of St. John, chapter 10, verse 22.
Bring it out.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication.
Read that again.
And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication.
A lot of Israelites camps, they don't really keep the feast of dedication. There's a lot of Israelite camps that don't keep the feast of dedication, right? They don't see it in Leviticus in chapter 23, right? So we don't care. I done heard so many brothers tell me that it ain't in the law. It ain't in the law. Well, it's out of Christ's mouth. It's right here. Show you.
Where it's in Christ.
It's in Christ. Christ showing himself that he kept the feast of dedication, man. Right? And then, like we said, now we go back it up and go prove it why he kept it in the Apocrypha, right? Read that again.
The book of St. John, chapter 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication. And it was winter.
And it was what?
And it was winter.
So we know that the feast of dedication is always done around what? Winter, right? And like you said, these things are gonna bag themselves up, man. When you get the months and the days that we rededicated for the dedication of the temple, it lines up, man. Right? And like we said, well, grace in Christ. And what is Christ? He's supposed to be our example, man. Go to 1 Peter, man. If you can't get no other example, you need to get your example from Christ, right? That's the best example you can possibly get in the Bible. It's Christ. 2 and 21.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2, verse 21.
Bring it out.
For even hereunto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us, leaving us an example.
Doing what?
Leaving us an example.
What is Christ?
Leaving us an example.
And Christ said he what? Kept the feast of dedication, man. Kept the feast of dedication in the winter. So you can kill all that noise, man. Christ is our biggest example. Leaving us an example. What?
Leaving us an example that ye should follow his steps.
That you should do what?
That you should follow his steps.
Nah, you should talk about, man, we ain't keeping the dedication.
That ye should follow his steps.
It's not in Leviticus.
Ye should follow his steps.
That you should follow his steps, man. Stop playing, man.
So we just
Simple.
precept right quick.
Break it down.
Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 16 and verse 24. Basically saying the same thing. Let me say Christ is our example.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 16, verse 24. Then said Yahushua unto the disciples, If any man will come after me,
Will do what?
if any man will come after me,
Read on up.
let him deny himself.
Let him do what?
Let him deny himself.
Because you have this spirit out there that'll tell you, don't keep the dedication. It's really not there. Don't do that. Did he really? But if Christ did it, guess what? I want to do it.
I want to do it too.
Read on up.
And take up his cross and follow me.
And do what up?
And take up his cross and follow me.
Meaning you're going to have to bear some hardships, man. You're going to have to get away from certain family members, certain brothers and sisters, because guess what? They can deter you away from this truth.
Right.
Come celebrate Thanksgiving, baby. Come celebrate Christmas, baby. No, Grandma, no, Papa, I'm celebrating the Feast of Dedication, man, and I'm following Christ. If you're a true follower of Christ, guess what? You're going to do what Christ did.
Right.
Christ kept the dedication. We don't read in no account of the scriptures where he did man-made traditions. Nowhere. So that's what our job is, to follow Christ. Go ahead, Op.
That's right. Be calm on that, man. And that's what a lot of people do. They'll try to make you what? Not deter you from keeping the high holy days of the Most High God. It's just a lot of things, man. But you want to do and be a follower of Christ, man. Mashaki Havashai, right? Let's go to Romans 15:4. This is what it's about.
The book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 4.
Bring it out.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime.
So we just got a lot of precepts on things written aforetime, right? We got Solomon, he kept the dedication aforetime. Moses, who went to Ezra, showed the children of Israel rededicating themselves. Even Christ, right? Keeping the feast of dedication. But things that are written aforetime, basically the Solomon and Moses and Numbers and the children of Israel in Ezra, right? Read.
For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning.
They were written for our learning, man. Those accounts in the Bible wasn't accounts for nothing, man.
For real.
They ain't just there for no reason, man. You see a small precept in the Bible like Jesus wept. It's there for a damn good reason. It's up to you to find out why it's there. Oh, it's the shortest scripture. It just said he wept. But why? Right? When you get to these accounts in the Bible, it said they are there for your learning, man. Right? Read.
That we, through patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope.
And that's what the rehearsals of these righteous acts will do. Patience and comfort of the scriptures. We just might have hope in going back into keeping these rehearsals of righteous acts, right? Getting into the Bible, going over scriptures. Now these scriptures comforting us, man. I know it. It's the same way with me, and I know it's the same way with y'all brothers and sisters, man. When y'all see scriptures, and now you're more able to deal with things because you see it in the scriptures, man. Right? That's what the scriptures are gonna do. Through patience and comfort of the scriptures, that we just might have hope. Read.
Verse 5. Now the God of patience and consolation grant you.
Now the God of patience, now He's patient. He's been patient with us. You're gonna keep on making them wait. You're gonna keep on making them wait because He's been patient with us. He is the God of patience and consolation. You can't keep on out here celebrating birthdays, man, and the Lord still be patient with you, man. He's patient enough, man. Read.
Grant you to be like-minded.
To be what?
To be like-minded.
So I don't know what other brothers and sisters do in the camp, but Battle Axes, we're gonna be like-minded and what? Celebrate the feast of dedication, man. Right? Read.
Grant you to be like-minded, one towards another, according to Hamashiach Yahawashi.
According to who?
According to Hamashiach Yahawashi.
That's our example. Right. And our example said that he kept the feast of dedication in the winter. Right? Simple. Let's get to it, man. Let's go to Maccabees.
Read verse 6 right quick.
Go ahead.
Verse 6. That ye may with one mind and one mouth glorify God, even the Father of our Lord, Hamashiach Yahawashi.
And that thing right there is heavy because we all want to be on one accord, especially amongst a congregation. speaking the same things, doing the same things, man. One mind. We all got that mindset to what? To rededicate our spirits back to the Most High. To guess what? Do our due diligence in this truth, man. To guess what? Be in gladness and in joyfulness of heart, celebrating the feast of the dedication, man. We want to be on one accord with those things, brothers and sisters. Go ahead.
That's right. It's like Negroes talking about they don't want to keep the feast of dedication. It's like it's a bad thing or something. Negro, you don't want to clean yourself.
That's right.
You don't want to rededicate your life back to the Most High God. Like, that's crazy. We all need to be on one mind and one consent. Yes, we want to reclaim ourselves. Yes, we want to dedicate ourselves back to you, Father, in the most purest form that we possibly can. Right? And this is a continual thing. Each year, you get to rededicate your life to the Most High God. Each year, you get to do the dedication. Ought to be a blessing, man. Because you're giving yourself to the Most High God in the most purest form that you have. 45 years ago, I wasn't that pure. I was trying to come into him, right? 2 years ago, I had a little more pureness on me, right? Rededicating myself. Now I'm bringing up today, man, I'm trying to be into my purest form that we possibly can.
That's right.
And that's a blessing that we have, man, to try to give ourselves to the Most High God in the best form that we possibly can.
And to take it even one step further, you should be trying to rededicate yourself every day.
That's right.
Every opportunity, not just around the feast of dedication. Brothers and sisters should be trying to rededicate themselves every day, man. That's the same thing what Paul said, dying daily.
That's right.
They're going to the same thing. Go ahead.
Let's get into this read, man. We're going to do some reading now. Let's go into First Maccabees and 1. We'll start at 1. So why do we have to rededicate the temple? Because we conformed to the ways of the world. We conformed into the ways of the world right here in First Maccabees. We'll show you that we conform to the ways of the world. Right? To the point that they were going to even kill us, man, if we did. So this is why we have to rededicate. We can start at 1. I have 1 and 1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1.
Bring it out.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Shittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
So you see, this is Greece coming into what? Rulership, right? They just smitten Darius, the king of Persia and Medes, right? Read.
Verse 2, and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
So you see Greek coming into their form now, right? It's their chance, they turn, right? To beat over the children of Israel, right? Just going into our captivity, our Greek captivity. Read.
And went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many
And
nations.
it said they took spoils of many nations, man, right? They were taking spoils of all the nations that they were conquering, right? Read.
In so much that the earth was quiet before him,
Man,
whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
it said he was exalted because the world was so, I mean, he had a lot of pride, man. They were prideful, man. We know Esau and them prideful as hell, man, right? Said the world was so quiet at that time, he ain't had no choice but to have pride on him, man. Yeah, we done did that, right? Read.
Verse 4, and he gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him.
So it said he became mighty strong. He gathered in a mighty strong host, right? He had a mighty strong host with him, right? And they became kings, man. Read.
Verse 5, and after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
Praise.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom among them while he was yet alive.
Read.
So Alexander reigned 12 years, and then died.
So this is what they go into Alexander the Great. We call him Alexander the Freak, right? But this is going into Alexander, right? So he reigned 12 years and then he died, right? Read.
And his servants bare rule, every one in his place.
But he set up the next generation to take over and reign through him, right? Read.
Verse 9, and after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves, so that their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
So you see this. This is when evils. Now the earth was already had evils on it, right? But when Alexander and his company came and host and started ruling and being in rulership, evils multiplied on the earth. They were just adding probably before this. But when they came and reigned, they would start multiplying, right? Read.
Verse 10, and there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes.
Yeah, this dude was wicked as hell, man. Antiochus Epiphanes, man. Read.
Son of Antiochus, the king, who had been an hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. And those days went throughout of Israel wicked men.
Who what?
Who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So you see what they were doing? They started what? Going into other ways, right? They start going into other ways. I'm going to show you. Let's go to Jeremiah 5:26 right quick. It said there went out of Israel wicked men, man. You get there, you can read about it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 5, verse 26.
Bring it out.
For among my people are found wicked men.
Are found what?
Are found wicked men.
We.
They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
So these wicked men of our people, they lay wait and set snares, man. They set traps for us to fall in, man. That's the same thing that these wicked Negroes did right here in First Maccabees, right? It said that when our wicked men who persuaded many, they were laying snares for our own people, man. So saying what? Let's go make a covenant with the heathen, man. Let's go back to Maccabees. Read 11 again.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
So right there, they committed what? Basically spiritual fornication right there. Making a covenant with the heathen. Let's go to Exodus 23, man. And 32. They said, let's go make a covenant with the heathen. The people who hate your guts, man. The people who've been killing you. We just read they've been knocking out, taking spoils from all nations. But we say, let's go make a covenant with the heathen.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 32. Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Read that again.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods.
We should make no covenant with the heathen or with their gods, man, right? Their gods going into what? Antiochus at these times, man.
Right.
Alexander and his 4 generals, man. We making covenants with them. The Bible said thou shalt make no covenant with them and their gods, right? But we went right and did that, man.
Real quick. What brother can name the 4 generals? What you got, B?
Ptolemy, Cassandra, Sir Lucius, and Antigona.
And who?
Antigona.
And who? Antiochus.
Antiochus.
Some people say Antiochus. Yeah, he butchered that thing.
I went to Issachar. Well, it might not be busy, man. That's what it might be. Issachar. Antiochus.
What's
that? Forgot general in history. So I got another question. Make sure brothers and sisters write that down, man. Y'all got these high-ass damn phones that don't even properly use them.
That's right.
That's just crazy to me, man.
That's right.
Well, how do you spell it, brother? iPhone that thing. Android game. Forget iPhones, man. It's Android game. But I got another question. What dynasty did Antiochus come up out of? Who did, out of those 4 generals, who did he come out of? Gotcha. What you got, Brother Uriah? What you got, Ehud? What you got, Donovan? What you got, Brother Hosea?
What timeline?
No, what generals, I made it plain. What, out of those 4 generals, who did Antiochus come out of? Brother Ray, while you talk, you're gonna have time to talk to your brother, man. Y'all probably done called each other all week, man. Get up in this thing, take note. Who? No. What you got, you right? No. Hasmonean dynasty is us. You said brothers done Googled it. What you got, good boy? You got 3 more. You said Antiochus.
Sir Lucius.
Solutions.
Sir Lucius. Oh, you sound like one of these songs, one of these singing songs. Oh, that's Sir Lucius. Come on, here.
Solutions. He came out of the Seleucid dynasty. Make sure brothers write that down. Remember, y'all have to understand some history. You don't have to be a history scholar, but you have to understand and make it relate to bring up the point without people trying to deflect that the Bible is not a true book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the solution line. He reigned over the church.
He reigned over the Indus River.
He reigned over the region what we know today as East India.
Okay.
From Persia to East India. Ptolemy ruled over Egypt. Cassander ruled over Greece. Lysimachus ruled over Asia Minor. What we know today as modern day Turkey.
Yeah,
You got that, Mother Mariah?
You can say it one more time.
Cassander ruled in Greece. Lysimachus ruled in Asia Minor. Ptolemy ruled Egypt. Seleucus ruled from the Indus River. You can put that. Go ahead, Al.
big time. Yeah,
Repeat that.
Cassander in Greece. Lysimachus in Asia Minor. Ptolemy. Just spell it the best way you, brother. I knew you know you can't just
right.
abbreviate.
PT.
Lysimachus.
Yeah.
Ptolemy, Egypt, Seleucus, Indus River.
Last one was what?
Brother Fred, I'm gonna get on your ass. Right? You're supposed to have this 3 years ago. Seleucus, Indus River. You brothers, Big Ray, Fred, Ehud, Hosea, Daoud, all you brothers should have it. Brother Osha, brother Judah, little bit of Benaniyah, all y'all should have it.
And that right at the beginning, that should have a whole lot of notes. Look, that's what it looked like just at the beginning of that.
For real.
It's written all through there because all the notes that we had gave y'all through that just on this area, right?
So the wicked men came those days and said, let us make a covenant with the heathen, right, that were round about us. Start at verse 12.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
So that this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinance of the heathen.
Uh-huh.
Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem.
I'm gonna tell y'all, exercise. Y'all know what gymnasium you stand for? Where the Greek word it come from? Naked. The Greek word for gymnasium is naked. They were out there doing things naked, man. That's why you go to the gym and people ain't got no damn clothes on. Right? They wrestling naked. They doing everything naked, man.
why football wearing them baggy pants and them little tight ass pants.
That's right. That's why now they make our young brothers go to these NFL workouts and they gotta wear these little bitty tights. Now, brother, I put on some shorts, man. Why I gotta wear tights, man, and work out in front of y'all, man? Because Esau and them, man, that's how they do, man. They always want to see some nakedness, man. Don't matter men or women, they just want to see somebody naked, man. Nasty freaks, man. But these are people that we want to go make a covenant with, though, right? Why the hell you think we got to rededicate the temple, man?
It's all getting naked.
When you say that's just all get naked. No, man, but that's what the place of exercise come from. Gymnasium, Greek word from naked, man. Read 14 again.
Verse 14, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem, according to the customs of the heathen.
According to the customs of being naked of the heathen, right? Read.
And made themselves uncircumcised.
And they did what?
And made themselves
So
uncircumcised.
they made themselves uncircumcised, man, right? Naked. Again, right? You want something?
Yeah. What does that mean when he's saying that? Made themselves uncircumcised.
They went into sin.
Yeah, meaning they stopped keeping the commandments.
That's right.
They stopped keeping the commandments and they started doing whatever the Greeks had going on. And it's the same thing we do in America. We stop keeping God's laws and we've gone into keeping America's laws.
That's right. Let's get a precept on that. Let's go to Romans 2:25 right quick. That's exactly right. We made ourselves uncircumcised. How do you make yourself uncircumcised? Knowing that the physical uncircumcision is of the foreskin, but the real circumcision comes from what? You hearing the word of God and changing. So to make yourself uncircumcised, that means that you were circumcised before. You heard the word of God, you understood it, but now you go off and do something else. Romans 2:25.
The book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 25. For circumcision verily profited, if thou keep the law.
So you were circumcised when you were keeping the law, right? Read.
But if thou be a breaker of the law,
Like Maccabees just said, but when we start going outside of our laws or going into other heathen customs, when we start breaking our laws, read.
thy circumcision is made uncircumcision.
You see that? That's a great precept right there, man. Your circumcision is made uncircumcision. So how do we make ourselves uncircumcised? By not keeping the laws, our praises. Let's go back to Maccabees, man. Be calm. Start at 15.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 15.
So we just setting the premises of why we're keeping these are all the things that happened at the beginning of time to make us have to rededicate the temple, right? We're just going through and setting the foundation of why we had to rededicate the temple. And it started with what? It started with Alexander the Free, with Antiochus Epiphanes, right? It started right here. Read.
And made themselves uncircumcised.
And started at the damn gymnasium, man. Being naked. Read.
And forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
So you see that 15 going and clarifies it too. 15 really gives you the understanding of being circumcised. Read that again.
And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant.
Forsook the holy covenant is what made us uncircumcised, not keeping our own commandments. Read.
And joined themselves to the heathen.
But rather go keep the heathen's ways, right? Read.
And were sold to do mischief.
Read up.
Whoa.
You want to go?
Yeah, man, read that again.
Yeah.
And joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief.
And were sold to do mischief. Sold to do mischief. And what were they doing the other day? The NFL, and this is the crazy thing. Oh man, have a live that told the players
This is crazy.
to kneel for Israel. 7 years ago, what they said, kneel for Israel, but nigga, you better not kneel for yourself.
That's right.
But That's like I said. So even the 2 bills that came in the House, what is that? House Bill 888 and 894. The 888 where they giving the backing up to Israel. The 894 meaning if you against Zionists, you are, and now even the people, that's funny because it's crazy. If you're a Zionist and if you speak against Zionists, you anti-Semitic. Now the funny thing about that is that means people in Israel, because a lot of them are against Zionism, but if they talk about the Zionism, they anti-Semitic too, claiming to be Israel. So that's how confusing this world have got. But my point is this. So, read that again. So
were sold to do mischief.
Were sold to do mischief. The thing about it is they put money in people's pockets, our people, to be wicked. These rappers, these singers.
That's right.
These athletes, these politicians. Everything we're sold to do mischief.
That's right.
So the thing about it is we like the money more than we like our God.
That's what it was. That's what it was about.
Now that's all I had on that. I want y'all to make sure that that little bitty thing right there is one little very strong man. That's a strong statement. Sold to do mischief.
It is. And you go put this brother out the league, man, for kneeling and for his own people. But you encourage brothers to go and kneel.
And kneel again in the same sport, under the same flag, under the same. So now I guess they're patriotic then.
I guess they are. That's great.
Remember, they wasn't patriotic just 7 years ago.
Read 16 now.
Verse 16. Now when the kingdom was established before Antiochus, he thought to reign over Egypt, that he might have the dominion of 2 realms.
So now he's going to try to take his reign and go over 2 whole realms of this world. Now he want to get Egypt, right? So now he done already took over this part. Now he want to go take over Egypt too. Jump down to verse 20.
Verse 20. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt.
So he did, right? It said after he had smitten Egypt, read.
He returned again in the 143rd year. And went up against Israel.
So now he coming back and go up against Israel and Jerusalem, right? Read.
With a great multitude.
And he came with a great army. Read.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary.
Hold on before you go.
Gotcha.
Let me ask one question. Who's running Egypt at this time? Ptolemy. So he's going up against his own people. But
that's right.
That's how they are. They don't just want your stuff, they want everybody.
That's right.
And then when they fight on each other because it's all about power. That's what when you got the love for money and that becomes the root of all evil, it don't matter. You snap your mama neck for some money.
That's right.
Don't matter. Think about it. They sacrifice, a lot of them sacrifice their mothers to get the riches that they got now.
That's right.
Go ahead,
Big con on that. Read on now.
Verse 21 from the top. It entered proudly into the sanctuary.
Entered how?
Proudly into the sanctuary. And took away the golden altar and the candlesticks of light and all the vessels thereof.
So they came into our temple, into our house, and they took all of our good things, man. Right? Read.
And the table of showbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took.
Man, y'all didn't think they had nothing to eat.
Come on, man. He took
the
showbread. Dang, he took it all.
Gold and all that. You know, most people come in there and take the plate. Because the plate worth something, they don't take the showbread. Like you said, they don't leave nothing.
Well, they leave some great.
Some great. This must they took the showbread.
They took the damn bread. Right?
Man, that's like going in here, man, breaking in here, leaving in here, man, going in here and taking the crackers and everything. Got the juice and everything. Now, you don't have no communion. I mean, but that's crazy, man.
It is, man.
Go ahead.
And you take the drink. Maybe we can take some shots.
Man, everything.
That's right. Read 23.
Verse 23. He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels.
Read.
Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found.
He took the what?
The hidden treasures which he found.
Give me a precept of 23, Ehud.
Proverbs 2, 2 and 4.
That's a good. Give me another one.
Matthew 13, 44.
Matthew 13 and 44. Make sure y'all write them precepts down. Let's get Matthew 13. It says he took the hidden treasures which he found. Proverbs 2 and 2 through 4 and Matthew 13 and 44.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verse 44.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field.
It's like into what? A treasure hid in a field. Read.
The which, when a man hath found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field.
Read.
Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a merchantman seeking goodly pearls, who, when he had found one pearl of great price, he went and sold all that he had and bought it.
So it said the kingdom of heaven is like a goodly pearl, man. It's like read 44 one more time.
Verse 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto treasure hid in a field.
So this is the treasure, man. It was us that he took, man, right? The treasure it's like treasure hid in the field, man. That was us, right? When we go back to Maccabees 1 and 23, let's read that again.
He took also the silver and the gold and the precious vessels. Also, he took the hidden treasures which he found.
The hidden treasures, man. That's us. That's going into the kingdom, man, for salvation, right? Read 24. Yeah, okay.
Verse 24. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoke very proud.
So you see, he went into his own land where he had made a great massacre upon us, man. A massacre means he killed a lot of people, man, of our own people, man, right? Read.
And therefore there was great mourning in Israel in every place where they were.
Read.
So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beauty of women was changed.
You see that? You see that? That's our women start changing their beauty around that time, man. That's when we start going out there trying to look like, I guess, them damn Grecian women at this time, right? Because now our beauty of our women were changed. It said, so that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble. We were made weak. The massacre that Epiphany put on us made us weak, man. That we what? Took our beauty and changed it, man. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon 13. Yeah, we'll start at 1.
When you come back to 26.
I got you. Okay.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 1.
Read.
Surely vain are all men by nature, who are ignorant of God, and could not out of the good things that are seen know him that is. Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master.
Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the work master. So the work master is Christ, the Most High God, right? But they didn't acknowledge his works. Read.
But deemed either fire or wind, or the swift air, or the circle of the stars, or the violent water, or the lights of heaven to be gods, to be the gods.
But they deemed everything else that our God made to be their gods, right? Not the one true God, not the author of creation, but everything that the Creator made, they deemed to be their gods, right? Read.
Which governed the world.
Which did what?
Which governed the world.
And you know, that's what they did. They had gods for different days. They had sun gods and moon gods and star gods, right? Read.
With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods.
Read 3 again.
With whose beauty.
With whose beauty.
If they being delighted, took them to be gods.
They took their beauty to be gods. You see that?
Aphrodite.
They took their beauty to now being God's, right? Because he put a big number on us, man. When you start killing and massacring our own people, yeah, that take a little toll on them, right? You ain't even want to look the same now. Hey, man, I don't want to look like that. He killing them, right? So it took the beauty. If they've been delighted, it took them to be God's. Read on.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is.
Let them know how much the Lord is better than them, man. Read.
For the first author of beauty had created them.
Because the first author of beauty was us, man.
Right.
Adam and Eve, that was the first author of beauty, man. That was our people, man. But we took our beauty and now we want to look like other women. Now we want to be blonde. Blondes do it the best. Stop it, man. Right? But let them know how much better the Lord is of them, man. Read.
Verse 4. But if they were astonished at their power and virtue, let them understand by them how much mightier he is that made.
How much mightier he is that made these things. You want to put gods of winds and stars, but the one who made these things should deserve the glory, right? Read.
For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, proportionably, the maker of them is seen.
For by the greatness and beauty of the creatures, man, right? The maker of them is seen. I'm not going to touch that word. But we took on our heathen counter, not our wicked people, to go and call them the beauty now. But they were killing us, man, right? Go back to Maccabees 1:26.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 26. So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble.
Hold on, read that. Now listen, I want y'all to look at this today. Because it's been a crowd. You go on the internet now, you got men against women and women against men. And some of the arguments is that point that, read that from the top. I want y'all to look at this. This is the exact same thing that's going on today. The Bible do not miss anything.
It don't.
Go ahead.
Verse 26 from the top. So that the princes and elders mourned.
The men are mourning. The men are mourning. Why are they mourning? Go ahead.
The virgins and young men were made feeble.
The virgins and young men were made feeble. The women and the young men, the children have been made feeble. They become weak. Look at our young women out here nowadays.
That's right.
Boy, I remember, shoot, you couldn't find one to get you something. Now, shoot, what's so bad about it? You don't gotta wait till high school. Just gotta wait till 4th and 5th grade. They become feeble. Our little men become feeble. Why? Because it was prophesied about that. They emotional. And where did we get this from? Because we learned from another nation too. Because we weren't involved in the feminist movement. But that came along. What's so bad about it? We know how to do it big, boy. We can get it big, boy. We just surpassed the feminist movement. We strong, black, and independent. No other race do that. No, the white women weren't strong, white, and independent. We just took over. So you got men crying because their women have taken on masculinity.
That's right.
The same thing that they did back in the time of the Greeks. They looked at them and they looked at them for beauty when we had all the beauty. So here we started going to get long blonde hair. We start trying to look like them, be like them. But you know how we do? We take it overboard. We can't just have some nice nails. No, we got to have some 9-inch nails. We got to have some Freddy Kruegers around it. We can't just get a little eyelid. We got to have a goddamn umbrella on our eyelid.
For real.
Go ahead,
Go to 2 Maccabees 4:14, man. That's right. 2 Maccabees 4:14. Saying the same thing. I was right, man. And you see it in today's life, man. That's why we have to rededicate this temple back to the Most High God.
And get rid of all of those stuff.
It said the virgins and young men were made feeble, man. They were made weak. That word feeble is weak, man, right? And the beauty of women had changed. Read 4 and 14, 2 Maccabees.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 14, that the priests had no courage to serve anymore at the altar.
So the great massacre that Epiphanes had put upon our people, it gave our people what? No courage to serve at the altar anymore, man. They didn't have any more courage seeing our people dying, seeing the massacre that he put on our people. We had no more courage to serve at the altar. Read.
But despising the temple.
But now we start despising the temple or despising our what? Our laws, right? Read.
And neglecting the sacrifice.
And neglecting the sacrifices that we were once throwing up for the Most High God. Right now, we're neglecting the sacrifice of our bodies because we want to stay in the world, right? Read.
Hasten to be partakers of the unlawful allowance and the place of exercise.
We running to go be naked in them gyms, man, ain't we?
Mhm.
We'd rather be naked in gym than go read the word of God.
They put us in a place to where we fight to get that nakedness. That's the only way we can get out the hood.
Shit, what?
That's the only way we can get out the money. It's the only way we can bring in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Go be a hoe. Go be a little tight wearing homosexual. Yeah, all that's good to me.
Right.
That's you gotta get it how you get it. That's the most stupidest thing I ever heard.
Mm-hmm. So we ran to those instead of us doing our own laws. Now we're running to do their laws. You see that? We're running to keep Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We can't wait till Christmas come around now, right? Oh, we can't wait till Easter to get some Easter eggs, man. We're running to do their laws now, right? Finish that out.
After the game of discus called them
Let's
forth.
go back to 1 Maccabees. Jump down to verse 28.
First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 28.
Y'all stay with me, y'all. We got some reading, man. We in just chapter 1. We going 2, 3, and 4, but we ain't reading all, but we gonna read a lot of it. So please stay with me, man.
Verse 28. The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
You see that? So now by us going into doing their laws, now our people seeing us doing the wrong thing, now it's what? Bringing confusion, right? Confusion of faces. That's Daniel 9, and I think Daniel 9 and 7 or 8. Now our people belong to us with confusion of faces. Now it's making a lot of confusion because we known to be separate people. We were known to keep the commandments of the Most High God, to throw up sacrifices unto God, but now we're not doing it anymore. So now it's become confusion to our other people, right? Read.
Verse 29. And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude.
Read.
And spake peaceable words unto them.
What did they do?
And spake peaceable words unto them.
Read.
But was all deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel.
You know what Esau always do? They come and speak some peaceable words, man. Go to 1 Maccabees 7 to 10. You know they always come with them nice words, man. What's their favorite word to call you? Bud and brother, huh? Hey, buddy. Hey, brother. Right?
So
Man, they do, man. Make you not even want to say, man, stop saying that, man. What, brother? Yeah, stop saying it, buddy. Yes. 1 Maccabees 7 and 10.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 10. So they departed and came with a great power into the land of Judea.
Read on.
Where they sent messengers to Judas and his brothers with peaceable words. Deceitful.
You see this? You can go to Psalms, you can go to Sirach 12 and 16 and get all these same accounts of how our heathen people, our enemies, speak peaceable words to us to try to lure us in to liking them or to want to do what they want us to do, right? They always try to send peaceable words to us, right? You can also put Sirach 12 and 16 right there too. Read 31. 30. Again.
1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 30.
Bring it out.
and spake peaceable words unto them, but was all
lies.
For when they had given him credits, he fell suddenly upon the city.
Because when you start entertaining those lies that they give you, that's when you start giving them credits. As soon as you give them credits, that's when they pounce on you. They say, what? We got them niggas now, right? As soon as you start believing in those lies they give you, now you give them credits, and what did they do?
And smote it. And he fell suddenly upon the city, and smote it very sore.
And did what?
And destroyed much people of Israel.
Read on.
Verse 31. And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire and pulled down the houses and walls thereof on every side.
So you see that? We definitely had to rededicate and redo the temple, man, because now they start putting fire to it, right? Now they burning the whole city, man, right? They come to rape, rob, murder, destroy, and then what? Burn it down, man. Right. I'm talking about they come and kick the door trying to make us no more remembrance, man. They trying to make Israel to be no more in remembrance. Drop down to 34.
Verse 34. And they put therein a sinful nation, wicked men,
and what?
And fortified themselves therein.
So now they put in their people in our homeland, right where we was, right? Sinful men, wicked men, and they fortified themselves therein. So what they did was they encamped themselves round about where we were, and they made what? Provisions if you tried to come and get it back. Fortified mean they made what? Strongholds for you not to come into that city now. So they put wicked people in our area, and then when you tried to come back, they were ready in defense to knock your butt off if you did try to come back, right? What you got?
That's one of the reasons a lot of times we got to come back to these laws. Go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Because like they said, like what he was just showing you, this same nation came in and destroyed our temples and everything we had, right? Come and defiled it, destroyed it, stole everything. And now, let me show you something else. Go ahead, read that, because that's one of the curses that's upon us, and the same nation that came against us, we're going to see. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Therefore thou shalt thou serve thine enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst.
When you're hungry, we got to get it from our enemies. When we thirsty, we want water, we got to get it from our enemies. Go ahead.
And in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
He did that.
Until he have destroyed.
And he's taking it off because we destroyed.
That's right.
So where are we destroyed? Our temples destroyed.
That's right.
They destroyed our temples because our mind before we got the truth was 100% destroyed. Right. We followed any and everything but our God. We didn't know we had to keep the commandments. So the temple that we have to rededicate, yeah, you have to, because it was destroyed.
That's right.
And if you claiming that you building your temple back up, that you in this truth, that you coming back and doing the Most High God, you supposed to rededicate it.
That's right.
Back to him. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. Go ahead, Al.
Go back to 1 Maccabees 1 and 37.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 37. Thus they shed innocent blood on every side of the sanctuary and defiled it.
They shedded blood on every side of the sanctuary and did what?
And defiled.
So that's like I said, we got to come back and rededicate it and rebuild it because they defiled it. Read.
And so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them.
They did what?
And so much that the inhabitants of Jerusalem fled because of them.
We just start leaving. We start leaving the temple and everything. Hey, we gone. Read.
Whereupon the city was made an habitation of strangers and became strange to those that were born in her.
Do you see that? The city became a habitation of strangers, and those that were born, it was strange to them there, right? Because we wasn't born in our laws anymore. We were now born in what? Keeping and doing the will of the heathen. right? Now going to the gymnasium and being naked was cool, right? Read.
And her own children left her.
And her own children left her. Read on.
Her sanctuary was laid waste like a wilderness. Her feasts were turned into mourning.
Read.
Her Sabbaths into reproach. Her honor into contempt.
So you see that? Her Sabbaths are reproach. This is what happened. This is what's happening right now. Our Sabbaths are becoming a reproach, man. They ain't keeping no Sabbath. They talking about Sunday they Sabbath, man. But they not keeping no real Sabbath, because even if Sunday was their Sabbath, they still cooking and eating big pork, right? Jump down to verse 41.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
You see that? That's what. So when we start going into their ways, when we start going into their customs, what Antiochus said, well, damn, that's just going to make it to everybody be one people, that we all be the same, right? That we all have one same law, right? And that we're not all going into different ways, right? Read.
And everyone should leave his law. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king.
So I'm going to tell y'all, this right here is when we start becoming Hellenized, man. Right. This is when we start becoming Hellenized, man. Right? What is Hellenized going into?
Looting. It's kind of like you copying their ways.
Like Greek Jews, right? This is when we start becoming Hellenized right here. Because they wanted us to leave our own ways and come into doing one law, right? But go to Esther 13. In the pocket for the rest of Esther. This is why they wanted us to leave our laws, man. Start at 4.
The rest of Esther in the Apocrypha, chapter 13, verse 4.
Bring it out.
Declared unto us that in all nations throughout the world there was scattered a certain malicious people.
So they were calling us malicious, right? They said it was scattered who was scattered? The Israelites, right? It said it was a malicious people, right? They would call us malicious. Why?
That had laws contrary to all nations.
They would call us malicious because we had our own laws, right? That we wasn't like everybody else. That we were separate. That we were holy, right? Read.
And continually despised commandments of kings.
And we continually despise the commandments of the kings at that time. Kind of like what we're finna go into with Maccabees, man. Mattathias in them, man. This is what they had to do. They had to revolt and continually despise the commandments of kings. That's why Antiochus was like, look, man, like, we got to be one people. Because these Negroes, they always want to go against everything, man. Right? They don't want to do the commandments of the king. Read.
So as the uniting of our kingdoms, honorably intended by us, cannot go forward.
You see that? You see what Antiochus didn't want to do? They wanted to unite the kingdoms. But they said these certain people who malicious, they're not going to let us unite them, man. That's why we got to make them one people. This is why Paul had to be crafty, man, in his writings right here, man. Read.
Verse 5, seeing then we understand that this people alone,
not nobody else, only this people, read,
is continually in opposition unto all men.
They are continually in opposition. They never want to do what the king told them to do, man, right? Read.
Differing in the strange manner of their laws. And evil affected to our state.
Read.
Working all the mischief they can, that our kingdom may not be firmly established.
You see that? They said we was working mischief, that their kingdom won't be firmly established. And that's what we got to do. We got to keep working that they do not establish this kingdom as being one people, man. Because we are not. We have to rededicate the temple, going back to what? Keeping our laws as a nation of people again. Right? So we won't fall into that decayed state like we did, man. Go back to First Maccabees. So it said, verse 41, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one people, man. That's going to Galatians 3:28, right? That everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agreed to the commandments of the king, man. Now that's why we had to get Mattathias, man, to come through, man. bring his 5 sons to revolt against this act. But read 42. Read 43.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 43. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols.
You see why we got to rededicate it? Because many of the Israelites also committed themselves to sacrificing to idols, man. Right? Yeah, we can be just one people, right? Knowing damn well that the Most High God never set us up that way, man. But when you start killing them, off, they making them feeble, making them weak, right? They ain't got now they don't want to keep no laws no more, right? Read.
And profane the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they shall follow the strange laws of the land.
What kind of laws of the land?
Strange laws of the land.
These were strange laws, man, right? Of the land, man, that they sent letters for us to follow. They strange us because we don't do these things, man. They had what, like Zeus and things of that nature. We're not going after no Zeus. That's a pagan god. That's idolatry. We're not doing that. That was strange to us, right? Read.
Verse 45. And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival
days. That they should do what?
That they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
You see that we should profane the Sabbaths, which we're doing right now. Christians want to go to church on Sunday, calling it their Sabbath, and the festival days. They'd rather keep Christmas than keep the Feast of Dedication. They'd rather keep Easter than keep the day of Passover. They'd rather keep Thanksgiving than go out and keep Feast of Tabernacle and dwell in booths. You see that? That's what it made us do. And this is why we have to rededicate this temple. Read.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Read on.
Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh.
And do what?
And sacrifice swine's flesh.
Ain't that what we doing today, man? We out here, pray over their food. Oh, thank you, Lord, for this turkey and this ham that we just soaked and cooked for 2 days. Lord, thank you for this ham. Oh Lord, it's gonna be so good, right? Oh, with the turkey with the bacon on top of the ham, soaked in reuben, right? That's what we do. They polluted the sanctuary. Now they're sacrificing swine's flesh and what?
And unclean beast.
And unclean beast, man. Right? They eating some everything, man. They eating frog legs at the table now, man. Right? Read on.
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised.
They should do what?
That they should also leave their children uncircumcised. And make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanliness and profanation.
Read on.
To the end they might forget the law.
They might what?
To the end they might forget the law.
That's what this was about, man. Antiochus' them job was to make the Israelites forget their law. I think they did a pretty damn good job on us, man. Because we are here teaching to a bunch of naysayers, man, that just don't want to remember their laws, man. Right? Read.
And change all the ordinances.
And change the ordinances, man. They want to change everything from what the Most High God said, man. Read.
Verse 50. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said he should die.
He said what?
He should die.
And this is one reason why we accepted that thing. Because they were killing us, man. You want to proclaim to be a Jew? That's why we say these things gonna come back up. You want to profess to be a Jew? You want to keep keeping the laws of your God? Well, we're going to start killing y'all butts, man. This was that 50 Cent right here, that get down and lay down, man, right? You was going to get down with these laws, that was beans. You either going to get down with these laws or we're going to lay you down with our laws, right? That's what it was, man. And that's what hurt us. But you jump down to chapter 2.
What are they doing now to when we don't conform to that thing?
Be careful.
Take your money, cancel you. They kill you in a different way, making you broke, taking all of your ways, taking your access to any kind of coming up or getting money, or that's what they do now.
Yeah. Read on that. Nah, read down, man. I want to read. I know we got a lot of reading.
Verse 51. And whosoever would, so like verse 51. In the self same manner wrote he to his whole kingdom, and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice, city by city.
Read.
Then many of the people were gathered unto them, to wit, every one that forsook the law. And so they committed evils in the land.
So they put what, like taskmasters now, right? Going into these police, right? They put taskmasters in our city that if you were found keeping your laws, they would whip you or kill you from keeping your laws. Like go get you brought up to council. Hey, I found this brother keeping his own laws, put him to death, right? That's what they did. They put taskmasters around us. Read.
And drove the Israelites into secret places, even wheresoever they could flee for succor.
So, they drove a lot of our people that were, and it said that's a key point, Israelites. Those who wanted to keep the commandments of the Most High God. They drove them to secret places because now we were trying to keep our laws in other places, right? We were trying to throw up our sacrifices in secret so that they wouldn't kill us, right? Read.
Now the 15th day of the month Caslu, in the 145th year, they set up abominations of desolation on the altar.
Read.
And built idol altars throughout the cities of Judah on every side.
Abomination of desolation, man. This is what that's going into. That's why we have to run and do our sacrifices and things in secret. Because with the abomination, what's the precept?
Daniel 11:31 or Daniel 9:27.
Where else did this happen? It happened twice. Come on, you don't look at me like that. You should know this. Where else was the abomination of desolation, man? Daniel 9, that's right, 9:25 down to 31. Where else did the abomination of desolation occur?
24:15.
Who?
Matthew 24:15.
Which was what?
Esau, when he destroyed our temple with the Greeks and Rome.
Roman, man. It happened in the Roman captivity, man. 70 AD, man. That was another place where we had the abomination of desolation, which was going into what? Changing our laws to their laws, right? Changing our sacrifices to their sacrifices, right? This is what Antiochus Epiphanes did, man. Right? So you got.
So like,
Go ahead. You good.
Who is, y'all remember we went over this in Capt 101, brothers got to learn to start trying to retain. Who is the abomination that make it desolation? Esau. Esau is the abomination that make it desolate. Because what was they doing? They was doing all type of abominations that they was doing in our temple.
That's right.
Sacrifice. Taking all these things and making these things uncleanness. When we see these things constantly throughout the scriptures, man. I'm talking about constantly.
That's right. So the abomination of desolation is going into what? Them changing our sacrifice, man. Changing what we were doing. They brought pagan sacrifices. Right? We were sacrificing 2 times a day. They had to sacrifice some swine's flesh and stuff probably 5 times a day at that time, right? Who knows? This was the abomination of desolation at that time, right? Read on for 55.
Verse 55. And burnt incense at the doors of their house and in the street.
Read.
And when they had rent in pieces the book of the law, the books of the law, which they found,
They what?
they burnt them with fire.
So they were burning our books, When they did find somebody with the Bible, somebody was trying to what? Proclaim themselves as being a Jew, they what? Took their Bible and they burned it, man, right? Read.
And whatsoever was found with any, the book of the testament, or if any consented to the law, the king commandment was that they should put him to death.
You see that? So they were getting put to death, man, for even reading our Bible, man. These things, man, occurred then, and guess what, man? They like come back, man.
They did it during slavery.
That's right.
Even us teaching out on the streets, man. Let's go to Amos right quick. Amos chapter 8, verse 11. Let me get y'all to read.
book of Amos, chapter 8, verse 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord God,
Right, read it.
that I will send a famine in the land.
So it says it's gonna be a famine in the land, right? Read.
Not a famine of bread,
Read.
nor a thirst
Read
of
on.
water, but of hearing the words of the Lord.
You see how they go? It's gonna be a famine of hearing the word of the Lord, man. Why you think our nation is sunk so deep, man? And guess what? And it's continue to sink, man.
That's right.
Our people don't think right, man. Common sense don't left the earth a long time ago. People do not think about, see, everybody think on emotions. Everybody think on feelings, right? And this is how people get trapped, man. But read on.
Verse 12, and they shall wander from sea to sea.
They're going to wander from sea to sea, read.
And from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro.
Read on.
To seek the word of the Lord. And shall not find it.
And this is what's going on. They're going to be running around looking for God's words and they ain't going to be able to find it, right? Because our people sink so far deep into, guess what? Evilness and wickedness and then idleness, man. Right? Everything that God told us not to do, man. Everybody wanted a guilty pleasure, right? That's the stuff Esau talk about, man. God don't want no guilty pleasure. God wants you to keep his commandments, man.
That's right.
Right? Oh yeah.
Another precept.
Go ahead.
Let's go to 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 4, real quick. To show another example of what they was doing in our temple. And how they profaned it and made it unclean. Another example on how they profaned the temple. Like we say, taking it to a spiritual part.
The book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 4. For the temple was filled with riot.
With what?
With riot.
It says the temple was filled with riot. Read on.
And reveling by the Gentiles.
And reveling by the Gentiles, man. The other nations. Reveling is going into party, drinking. That's why even in the scriptures, like we say, why would you go to the club? You know, it's nothing but reveling, drinking. Brothers know when you get a little drinking. Them sisters know what happened when you get a little drinking you. Read on up.
Who dallied with harlots.
Who did what?
Who dallied with harlots.
Y'all see what they was doing up in our most holy place? Messing with whores in the temple. Read on up.
And had to do with women within the circuit of the holy place.
I'm talking about, man, you could just imagine those things, man. Prostitution, having sex in a temple, just straight wicked. Read on up.
And besides that,
read on up.
Brought in things that were not lawful.
Man, come on, man. This is the most holy of holiest. Gentiles not even supposed to be up in there, man. Mm-hmm. Not only are they in there, they're doing all type of unclean and profanation, man. Just imagine those things. And we take it up to today on the spiritual level. The things that brothers and sisters do in their temple, man. The lust, the envy, the hatred that they have putting on their temple. That's why it's pivotal that we let our light shine. Brothers and sisters lighting their manure up for the whole 7-8 days. If you have it in your house. If not, brothers and sisters need to be going out buying one, man. Go ahead. Huh?
Big con on that, man. So they were going wickedness, man. We had to rededicate this temple, man. And we can get that back to the Most High God like that, man. All kind of wickedness like that going on to the... Nah, we can't fade that, man.
That's right.
First Maccabees 1:55.
Book of First Maccabees.
Nah, we were past that one.
Yeah.
58, right?
Yeah, 58. The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 58. Thus did they, by their authority, unto the Israelites every month, to as many as were found in the city.
So every month they were doing this thing, man. So as many as were found trying to keep the laws, they were knocking them out free.
So how was they getting them every month? Does your brother know? Because of the feast day.
Right.
So if you keep in the new moon, you should know, guess what? This is how I'm going to get them.
Yeah.
They got their feast day, I'm going to get them because I know they're going to have to be at their feast day every month.
That's right. That's right. And that's heavy, right? It is, man. That's exactly what it is, man. Read.
Now the 5 and 20th day of the month, they did sacrifice upon the idol altar, which was upon the altar of God.
So they do a sacrifice of the idol altar, man, which is on the idol of our God, man, on the altar of our God, man. Wicked as hell, man. Read.
At which time, according to the commandment, they put to death certain women that had caused their children to be circumcised.
So they were putting our women to death for circumcising their children, man. You see that? They were putting our women to death for circumcising their children, man. Read.
And they hanged the infants about their necks.
And this how wicked they did them, man. They hung the infants, man, on their necks, man. Babies. Can y'all see that, man? I'm talking about they be want to talk about, yeah, well, so and so went into captivity. Stop playing, man. Well, the what's his name went into captivity, man? Shut up, man. Because ain't nobody be going to captivity like this, man. They killed our women for circumcising their children, and then hung the infants, man.
They'll let you know, especially sisters, because I know a lot of times, oh, I'm cute, I'm beautiful, I bat my eyes. I'm just gonna bat my eyes and think judgment gonna come past you. No. Sisters are not exempt from judgment. That's right. We literally trying to get sisters to be in the spirit, man, to be thinking on these things, to understand your roles, understanding leadership roles, and so on and so forth, understanding the order that you have up in the congregation, understanding that, guess what, you have to listen to your husband. And guess what, when he's saying to make moves, when Jacob's trouble come, sisters got to listen. Single sisters and all too, man. Because like we say, you are not exempt from judgment. That's from right. Esau putting even the sisters to death, even like we read, even the church. But these things are pivotal that brothers and sisters tune in, man, on these things. Go ahead,
read on.
And they hanged the infants about their necks, and rifled their houses, and slew them that had circumcised them. Howbeit, many in Israel were fully resolved and confirmed in themselves not to eat any unclean thing.
But it was still a remnant that said, nah, we're not gonna eat no swine's flesh. Right. We're not gonna sacrifice idols upon the altar of the Most High God. We're gonna stay the course, right? Read.
Wherefore they chose rather to die.
They chose what?
Rather to die.
Oh, praise, man. Them was real brothers and sisters, man. They chose rather to die than what?
That they might not be defiled with meat. And that they might not profane the holy covenant. So then they died.
And that's going into the history of Susanna, man. Let's get that right quick. Verse 22. History of Susanna, verse 22 and 23.
The history of Susanna, chapter 1, verse 22. Then Susanna sighed and said, I am straight on every side. For if I do this thing.
She basically said, I'm ipped. They putting up a line, they lying on me, I'm messed up right now. If I what?
For if I do this thing, it is death unto me. And if I do it not, I cannot escape your hand.
She said, either way, I'm gonna be put to death, right? Read.
It is better for me to fall into your hands and not do it than to sin in the sight of the Lord.
So when them two peeping tongues was trying to get out, they were like, well, we gonna tell the people, we gonna tell the people that you were sleeping with another, we gonna tell the people that you were sleeping with a dude, that you would commit adultery. She's like, well, if I do it, I'm gonna have to deal with my God. But if I don't do it, I'm gonna have to deal with y'all. She said, I'd rather deal with y'all. Right? I'm not gonna go off and not have to deal with my God. I'm gonna deal with y'all wicked butts, right? Let's go back. So a lot of them said they died. They would rather die than profane the holy covenant. Man. 64.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 64. And there was very great wrath upon Israel.
So guess what? A lot of them died, man. It was very great wrath that came upon Israel around that time, man. Because we stood up for God's law, statutes, and commandments, man. That's what it's about. Who gonna stand up for me, man, against the evildoers, man? Right?
It's death around the corners now that's gonna be coming because we're standing up for the Most High.
That's right. That's right. Read on.
Chapter 2, verse 1. In those days arose Mattathias, the son of John, the son of Simeon, a priest of the sons of Joab, from Jerusalem, and dwelt in Modin.
A priest of the sons of Joab from Jerusalem and Modin. So Mattathias was what? Levite. I'll praise. Read.
And he had 5 sons, Johanan, called Cadus, Simon, called Thassi, Judas, who was called Maccabeus, Eleazar, called Araron, and Jonathan, whose surname was Apis.
Read.
And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem,
He saw the lies that were committed amongst our people at that time. Read.
He said, "Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers."
So, man, I was like, was I born to see this? This what I'm supposed to be seeing? Right, read.
Her temple is become as a man without glory.
Read.
Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. Her infants are slain in the streets.
Her infants are slain in the streets. This is the decayed state that Mattathias is seeing of our people right now. Jump down to 12.
Verse 12. And behold, our sanctuary, even our beauty and our glory is laid waste, and the Gentiles have profaned it.
You see that? Our beauty is laid waste, right? Saying the same thing in 1 and 26, right? So our beauty is laid waste. Read.
To what end, therefore, shall we live any longer?
Read. So Mattathias is saying, should we keep living like this? We got to stop this. Read.
Then Mattathias and his sons rent their clothes and put on sackcloth and mourn very sore.
Read.
In the meanwhile, the king's officers, such as compelled the people to revolt, came into the city Modin to make them sacrifice. And when many of Israel came unto them, Mattathias also and his sons came together.
Read.
Then answered the king's officers and said to Mattathias on this wise, Thou art a ruler and an honorable and great man in this city, and strengthen it with sons and brethren. Now therefore come thou first and fulfill the king's commandment, like as all the heathen have done. Yea, and the men of Judah also, and such as remain at Jerusalem. So shalt thou and thine house be in the number of the king's friends, and thou and thy children shall be honored with silver and gold and many rewards.
So they come to Mattathias, they see they ain't no joke, right? Hey man, you and your sons, man, y'all just come on, y'all be the first ones to go on and get down with these strange laws, man. Everybody else gonna fall out to y'all. We're gonna make y'all rich, right? We're gonna give y'all a lot of wealth and stuff, right? Just come on and get down with these strange laws. Read.
Verse 19, then Mattathias answered and spake with a loud voice.
With a what?
With a loud voice.
Mattathias spoke with a loud voice, man. Read.
Though all the nations that are under the king's dominion obey him.
Though all y'all obey him, read.
And fall away every one from the religion of their father.
And all y'all falling away from the religion of our fathers, read.
And give consent to his commandments.
And y'all give consent to his commandments, read.
Yet will I and my sons and my brethren walk in the covenant of our father.
They say, yet, man, we will not, man. We're going to walk in the covenant of our fathers, man. We're not going to do it. Y'all can do it. All y'all can play games over there, but we ain't going to do it, right? Say he spoke loud. He spoke as a man having what? Authority. Right? You can go to that Matthew 7:28, man. You ain't got to just put the precept there because he spoke like Christ, man. They didn't understand Christ because he spoke with authority. When you speak to these damn heathen with authority, they're like, hold on, who is this nigga? I'm gonna tell you, prime example, like Django. Well, was speaking with authority. That's why when they came to the slave, they were like, well, they're slave. Like, no, he's no slave. See, not the way he was talking to us. Not the authority that he was giving out there. No, he ain't no slave. Right? And that's the same way Mattathias had to show him, look, I'm not going to play with y'all. I'm going to speak with authority like a man, right? Read.
God forbid that we shall forsake the law and the ordinances. We will not hearken to the king's words to go from our religion, either on the right hand or the left.
Read. He said, we're not going to turn away from the right, not even a little bit, man. We're going to stay on the straight and narrow, man, right? Read.
Now, when he had left speaking these words, there came one of the Jews in the sight of all to sacrifice on the altar, which was at Modin.
So it came one of our own people, right? Hey, man, this cold, man. One of our own people came. One of them Negro, one of them wicked men who had consented to their ways, right? He came to sacrifice on the altar of the Most High God, right? Wicked, read.
According to the king's commandment.
According to what they wanted, read.
Which thing, when Mattathias saw, he was inflamed with zeal.
He was what?
He was inflamed with zeal.
Mattathias was upset, read.
And his reins trembled. Neither could he forbear to show his anger.
So he couldn't even hide it, y'all. He was so mad. I know y'all have been mad like that before. Well, you can't even hide it. I mean, you're trying your best to be in the spirit, but you just can't even hide it, man. Read.
To show his anger according to judgment. Wherefore he ran and slew him upon the altar.
He went and slew that brother, man. That was on the altar, man. You out here giving all this wickedness for our people to see, man. I'm going to show our people that, guess what? We not dealing with that, man. We not going to be dealing with that anymore, man. I'm going to put my foot down right now. Go ahead,
Let me get a precept right quick, man, because who else?
Jerubbaal.
He did too, but not what I'm talking about. Let's go to the book of John. When
he had those 300 men, when they
let's go to the book of John, chapter 2 and verse 16. John chapter 2, verse 16. Sister Genesis know what I'm talking about. Read this right quick. Sister asked this question last week in the Q&A. Read this right quick.
The book of St. John, chapter 2, verse 16. And said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence. Make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Jump up to verse 14.
Verse 14. And found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money.
Read on. So we're seeing Christ doing what? Making a scourge and a whip to do what? Beat the hell out of people that profane his father's house. Think about it. If Christ was in, hey, I'm gonna tell you, man, don't think that Christ literally probably want to put their ass to death, man. Don't think that. Read on up.
And overthrew the tables. And he said unto them that sold doves.
That did what?
And overthrew the tables. And said unto them that sold doves.
Because they was doing what? Buying and selling on the Sabbath. Read on up.
Take these things hence. Make not my father's house an house of merchandise.
Read on up.
And the disciples remembered that it was written, the zeal of thine house had eaten me up.
The what up?
The zeal of thine house had eaten me up.
I hope brothers and sisters catch that, because guess what? Christ has such a great zeal to do the work of the Lord that guess what? It compelled him to do what? Make a whip and beat the hell out of people, man. Just the same zeal that what our forefather Mattathias had, man. Where he literally had great zeal and it literally came upon him and he killed the man, man. This thing ain't no joke, brothers and sisters, man. Go ahead, Al.
That same thing Nehemiah did when he came out. He was like, no, you're not doing it.
If you do it again, I'm going to put hands on you.
Yeah, man.
You got to think about our forefathers get it from the Most High. Think about when the priest came in unclean. He was killing them too.
Mm-hmm.
So what you think you gonna come to the altar unclean, man? The most and you and try to sacrifice, man. What you think the Lord's gonna do, man? He's gonna that goes into strange fire, man. Right?
Right.
And then that's how the mindset of Mattathias was, man. Thinking about, man, he already told the heathens, man, that he's not gonna transgress the law. What you think gonna come in after he said, man, I told you I ain't gonna do it. And guess what happened? He tried. Man, imagine the Lord gave us that same power. And somebody tried, look, what y'all think is gonna do? What y'all think is gonna happen? Guess what? And we ain't gonna shed a tear. You think Mattathias started crying after he slaughtered his, after he slew him? Right?
That's right. Jump to verse 27.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 46? 27. 27. Okay. Verse 27. And Mattathias cried throughout the city with a loud voice, saying, Whosoever is zealous of the law and maintaineth the covenant, let him follow me. So he and his sons fled into the mountains and left all that ever they had in the city. Then many that sought after justice and judgment went down into the wilderness to dwell there.
So he said with a loud voice, whoever is zealous of the law, come follow me, man. So he had to make a decree to see who was about their life, man. Right? Jump down to verse 35.
Verse 35. So then they gave them the battle with all speed.
So they finna go into battle now, right? Read.
Verse 36. Howbeit they
jump to 42, Shalai.
Verse 42. Then came there unto him a company of Assadeans, who were mighty men of Israel.
They were what?
Who were mighty men of Israel.
Read.
Even all such as were voluntarily devoted into the law.
Unto the law. These were Assyrians devoted into the law, right? Read.
Also all they that fled from persecution joined themselves unto them and were a stay unto them. So they joined their forces and smote sinful men in their anger.
So now they joined forces together with Mattathias and the Assyrians, right? And they slew sinful men in their anger. Read.
And wicked men in their wrath. But the rest fled to the heathen for support.
Read.
Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altars.
So now they started pulling down those altars, the altars of Baal, like I talked about with Jerubbaal, right? Jerubbaal. Right? Read.
And what children soever they found within the coast of Israel uncircumcised, those they circumcised valiantly.
They circumcised them valiantly, man. You ain't circumcised? Come on. You ain't valiantly, right? We finna give back God's laws back in this land, man. Right? We finna take over. Read.
They pursued also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hand.
Read.
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
They did what?
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
So they took the law out of the hands of the Gentiles and brought it back to the Most High God. Right? Read.
And out of the hands of the king.
Read.
Hold on. What does this sound like? See if what brothers and sisters got their spiritual blind minds on, man. Take the blinders off your eyes, right? What does this sound like? What did this sound like? Bring it to today, to the tilt right now. I'm trying to see what we taking our Bible back, man. The same way he physically taking the Bible back, we spiritually taking the Bible back, right? This is because guess what? This is a spiritual thing for us, man. Right? We literally is taking our Bible back, man. Right? Guess what? They was feeding this to us, saying that we supposed to do it their way. Guess what? Why you think they can shut our videos down on YouTube and do all this stuff right there? Because guess what? We literally going back to the Bible and we doing what the Lord say, man. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. That's right. Read on.
Neither suffered they the sinner to triumph. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength in the time of destruction and the wrath of indignation.
Read.
Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law, and give your lives for the covenant of your father.
So you see that now Mattathias is setting up his sons, man, the reign in his stead, right? And he's charging them, man. Right? That's what we gotta do, man. We gotta grow. That's why the Bible says, what, train up a child the way he should go. We charging these young men to be what? Great men when it's time for us to go, man. Right? To keep the charge going, to fight back like Jerubbaal was just saying, man. To fight the same way that we'll fight, right? Read.
Verse 51, call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time. So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
It said, call to remembrance the acts, man, that our father did in their time. Going back to that Romans 15:4, right? The things that were written aforetime was written for our learning. Also, what James 5:10. Take the prophets, man, as an example, man. Let's get that James 5:10. They call to remember. That's what Mattathias is doing. He's charging his sons, man.
The book of James, chapter 5, verse 10. Take my brethren, the prophets, who has spoken in the name of the Lord. For an example.
Or what?
For an example.
That's what you got to do. Take the prophets of old and as an example, man, of what?
Of suffering.
Of what?
Of suffering.
How we suffered. How we what?
Affliction.
How we went through affliction and what?
And of patience.
And how we had patience, man, to come back out of these things, man. That's what he said. Take the prophets, man. Cause to remembrance what actual fathers did in that time, man. He's for the choice his sons and to what being valiant men when he's gone. Let's go back to Maccabees. First Maccabees. Jump down to 64.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 64. Wherefore you, my sons, be valiant and show yourselves men in the behalf of the law, for by it shall you obtain glory.
What's the precept right there? Anybody got a precept? Huh?
What we read?
What we just read. You talking about a word. He said, wherefore ye, my sons, be valiant and shew yourselves men in the behalf of the law.
That's easy.
That is.
Oh,
Come on, Fred. Now shit. Now somebody.
Somebody just said.
1 Kings 2 and 2. Yeah, you close. You close.
I tell
take
you, just write it in your Bible for damn sakes, man. Damn.
Damn. But damn,
Just write it, bro. Damn. I mean, it's not hard.
And if we ask again, everybody should know that.
Hey, that brother know the precept. That brother take good notes, man.
That's right.
That's all that it ever be. You literally just have it right there next to it, man. Then you go to 2 Kings, right there, precept.
So how you think we know? Cause we take good damn notes. How you think we know? When you take good notes, guess what? We literally write in our Bibles. God dang.
Boy, gun on that.
And I know that scripture, man. Everybody know that by heart. We still got it written down.
And men, on how y'all know how to be men, how do y'all know how to be a man and not know this scripture?
That's right. Great point.
For real, how do you know how to be a man? Guess what? Because we say this all the time. A lot of people look like men. They sound like men. Guess what? Walk around in a man figure. You can see it. But guess what? They don't know how to be a man. And guess what? You got to know this in order to be able to be a man. Simple as that. A woman got to know how to be a woman. Simple as that.
That's right.
If she can't follow what the scriptures say, then she don't know how to be a woman. Guess what? If a man don't know how to be, guess what? He'll mess around and be anything. Right?
Gun. Read on. Our name finna give charge to his sons.
Verse 65. And behold, I know that your brother Simon is a man of counsel. Give ear unto him always. He shall be a father unto you.
So he giving counsel. I mean, he's giving a charge to who needs to be in order and these things. He's setting the charge for when he died. Read.
As for Judas Maccabeus, he has been mighty and strong, even from his youth up. Let him be your captain and fight the battle of the people.
So you see that Simon was to be the leader of them. Judas Maccabeus was to be the hammer and be the leader of the fight. Right. Read.
Take also unto you all those that observe the law, and avenge ye the wrong of your people.
Well, he set them up, man. Hey, man, take all of them, man. Avenge your people, man. I'm finna go, but you make sure you avenge your people. Read.
Recompense fully the heathen and take heed to the commandments of the law.
Recompense fully the heathen, because what they gonna receive? Double. Right? The Revelation 18 and 6, man. They gonna receive double. Jump down to verse 3. Chapter 3 and 1.
First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 1. Then his sons Judas, called Maccabeus, rose up in his stead, and all his brethren helped him, and so did all they that held with his father. And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
Nah, they fought with hate.
They fought with cheerfulness.
They wasn't mad that they was having a fight. They were glad that they were fighting for their nation. When we go out there on the street corners, if you ain't happy that we out there on the street corners, you might not need to be out there, man. If you ain't in a good mood that we finna go out there and try to wake up a nation, then you probably don't need to be out there, man.
Because some of y'all Negroes is lapping that water like a dog, man. Right? And that's why the Lord was sending them back in with the time of Jerubbaal, man.
That's right.
Because some of these Negroes want to lap the water like, and then guess what? If you want to lap the water, guess what? If you want to go home and comfort your woman all the time, go home and do those things, man. But guess what? If the men of the Lord want to stand up and guess what? And fight for our nation, let's go fight for our nation, man. Right.
That's right. Read.
And they fought with cheerfulness the battle of Israel.
They fought cheerfulness the battle of Israel. Read on.
So he gave his people great honor and put on a breastplate as a
You
giant,
say he put on a breastplate as a giant. Man, read.
and girt his warlike harness about him. And he made battles, protecting the hosts with his sword.
What was the most important thing that they put on? The commandments. According to Ephesians 6 and 11, that breastplate and that harness they were putting on, they were keeping the laws of the Most High God. That was the main thing, armor that they were putting on. Because when you're doing the will of the Father, He is your God. When you don't, He gonna show you that, hey, I'm not for you, not for me, I'm not for you. Right? So I love them that love me. The main thing they put on was the laws of the Most High God. Read.
Verse 4. In his axe, he was like a lion.
In his axe, he was like a lion. This is Judas Maccabees, man. Read.
And like a lion's whelp, roaring for his prey.
They say he was out there roaring, man. You just see him slowing him like roaring like a lion, right? Read.
For he pursued the wicked and sought them out and burned up those that vexed his people.
You say he burnt up those that vexed his people, man. Read.
Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him.
They did what?
The wicked shrunk for fear of him.
So now they starting to demise now, right? Remember, chapter 1 and chapter 2, you seeing them what? Come up. They had their peak. But now, after Mattathias has charged his sons, and they done went to war, Mattathias has died, and now he done charged the hammer and Simon to come in his stead. Now they what? Now they are diminishing the heathen, right? Read.
And all the workers of iniquity were troubled.
They were what?
Were troubled.
So now they starting to get worried. I'm gonna tell y'all, man. When we out there on the streets, man, them Edomites is worried, man. When we reading this Bible, when we doing classes, they are worried, man. When you doing the will of the Father, they are worried because they know that that's our strength, man. The law.
Let's get the precept right quick. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 11. Yeah. 11 and 11. Like I said, we put brothers in that spirit to, we're talking about you new brothers. We're talking about brothers that been here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie, sometimes that kind of let me know that brothers be dealing with some stuff, man. You can't grasp the precepts. You know, been here 2, 3, 4 years. That be indicators, man, that brothers be dealing with something, especially when brothers break it down plain to brothers. Write this precept here, write that precept there. Then you're supposed to go back over those things. I don't get it. You dealing with something. Read that right quick.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit,
350 years, read on.
the spirit of life from God entered into them, and they stood upon their feet.
So after we got out of slavery, the Most High God started to do what? Pour His spirit back upon us. Read on out.
And great fear fell upon them which saw them.
And great what?
And great fear fell upon them which saw them.
And great fear fell upon them which saw. Meaning what? When we start to get back in order, rededicating our temple back to the Most High, these nations are afraid of that, man.
Right.
They're not afraid of just regular old niggas. They're afraid of Israelites being in order.
Right.
And that's the thing that brothers should try to always achieve to, man. Whether how you handling your wife, how you studying, how you praying, how you fasting, how you dealing with your family, how you are in the congregation. That's what the nation's fear. Right. Go ahead,
And like you said, we do understand that everybody's not there, but our people, just think about. I'm gonna go to this precept. Go to 2 Samuel right quick. Go to 2 Samuel chapter 1 and go to verse 17. Now, if anybody know, this was going after Saul and Jonathan just got killed by the Philistines, right? Now we know that Saul went out and he was wicked, but guess what? Saul was also a warrior too. That's why the Lord told Saul to go kill the Amalekites. Right. So don't get it twisted. Guess why you just not gonna run up on Saul like this, right? This is David. He told a young man to fall upon the Amalekite because said he killed Saul, right? So verse 17.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 1, verse 17.
All right, read it.
And David lamented with this lamentation over Saul.
So if you read down, you're gonna hear how David laid out how Saul and Jonathan was, right? Jump down to verse 21.
Verse 21, ye mountains of Gilboa, let there be no dew.
All right.
Neither let there be rain upon you.
Right, read on.
Nor field of the mighty is vilely cast away.
Right, read on.
The shield of
Saul, right? This goes into what Saul had to fight it, man. He said the shield of Saul, read.
As though he had not been anointed with oil.
So he said Saul was walking around like as he has not been anointed with oil, right? I mean, the spirit of the Lord had came off of Saul, right? But read.
Verse 22, from the blood of the slain, from the fat of the mighty,
read.
The bow of Jonathan turned not back.
So he said the bow of Jonathan, that's to let you know that Saul and Jonathan both was fighting, right? And guess what? They was literally had to fight. The Philistines was one of the things at the time that we was really had to fight, right? Verse 23, it's going to show you how they really was, right? This is the point.
And the sword of Saul returned not empty.
Verse 23.
Saul and Jonathan were lovely and pleasant in their lives.
He said Saul and Jonathan was lovely and pleasant in their eyes. This is how King David looked at them, man, right? Read.
And in their death, they were not divided.
He said in their death, they was not divided. They was right there fighting to the end. Read.
They were swifter than eagles.
He said Jonathan and Saul were both swifter than eagle. Read.
They were stronger than lions.
And they were stronger than lions. So you just was not running up on our forefathers. The same thing he's talking about Judas Maccabees was, that he had the strength of lions. Guess what? Saul them had the same thing on him, man. King David had the same thing on him, man. All our forefathers was just like this, man. Go ahead.
That's a big con. Well, salute. Let's go back to Maccabees chapter 3 and 7 or 6. Yeah, 6. I'll pray.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 6. Wherefore the wicked shrunk for fear of him, and all the workers of iniquity were troubled, because salvation prospered in his hand.
Because salvation prospered in our hands now, man. Now they're seeing the upside of Israel. We're coming back into form now, right? Read.
He grieved also many kings and made Jacob glad with his act. And his memorial is blessed forever. Moreover, he went through the cities of Judah, destroying the ungodly out of them and turning away wrath from Israel.
Read.
So that he was renowned unto the utmost parts of the earth. And he received unto him such as were ready to perish.
So Maccabees, they know about Judas Maccabees in the whole earth, right? How Antiochus and Alexander and them had their name when Greeks started taking over, and now you seeing Judas Maccabees' name reigning in the earth now, man, as being the helmet for Israel, man. Don't play with them niggas, man. Nah, don't run up on them niggas. Like Jerubbaal said, nah, don't run up on them niggas like that. Nah, his name started reigning in Israel. Drop down to verse 13.
Verse 13. Now was Sarah, a prince of the army of Syria.
So here comes this dude, Saran, right? And let me show you how he got into this thing for the wrong reason, right? Read.
Heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and a company of the faith to go out with him to war.
Read.
He said, I will give me a name and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him who despise the king's commandment.
I'm gonna tell you, if you come out here in this fight trying to get a name, trying to get, I want to be here, I'm gonna be this, yeah, it's not gonna work, man. You hear how he jumped in? Oh yeah, I heard about Judas Maccabees now. I'm gonna go out here and fight with them. I'm gonna give me a name. They gonna know about me.
Bring it to present day. That's what they do. They run out there on us on the streets, on the curb. Guess what? They want to get a name. Guess what happened? They get their ass destroyed too.
That's right.
Guess what? Undefeated, man. Right? Let's keep it. Think about it spiritually. Think how many people don't try to come up on us, man. Get what? Even Vocal No Swag try to bring his ass out here, got his ass slaughtered.
Yes, right. In the face.
And these things gonna face, man. Right? Go ahead.
Read on.
So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly.
Hold on, there went with him a mighty host of what?
A mighty host of the ungodly to help him and to be avenged of the children of Israel.
Read.
And when he came near to the going up of Bethlehem, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company, who when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day?
Read.
Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
Read.
And with the God of heaven, it is all one to deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
See, they shouldn't have been out there in the first place, man. You out here worried about numbers and stuff, man. You ain't worried about being in order. You ain't being worried about, well, how did Judas Maccabees, how did y'all win all these other wars then, right? If y'all such a small number. It was the laws of the Most High God. The Most High God ain't never needed numbers, man. He ain't never needed numbers. Like I brought out with Jerubbaal, he made a lot of them go back, man. He took 300 with him. Right? He didn't need all that. He like, what's a 1,000 on 1,000 for the Most High God? Nah. He want to show his glory. How about 1,000 to 100? How about 1,000 to 50, man? What the Most High God want? Go to 2 Chronicles 20. And 17. Second Chronicles 20 and 17.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 20, verse 17. Ye shall not
Man,
need.
you know what? We got to start at 15.
The book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 20, verse 15.
Bring it out.
And he said, hearken ye, all Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem, and thou King Jehoshaphat. Thus said the Lord unto you, be not afraid, nor dismayed by reason of this great multitude.
You see that? He said, don't be afraid or dismayed by reason of this great multitude, man. Don't look at these lot of people like this gonna be a reason for us to lose this battle. Right? Read.
So like, for the battle is not yours, but God.
Because it's not even your damn battle. It's the Most High God's battle, man. If we win this battle, who's gonna win this battle? The Most High God. If we lose this battle, how do we lose the battle? Because the Most High God said we was gonna lose it, man. Right? Read.
Tomorrow go ye down against them. Behold, they come up by the cliff of Ziz, and ye shall find them at the end of the brook, before the wilderness of Jerubbaal.
Jerubbaal, yeah.
Ye shall not need to fight in this battle. Set yourselves, stand ye still,
And what?
and see the salvation of the Lord.
So when he said you don't need to fight, just set yourself and stand still, what is he telling them to do? Oh no, he telling them to do something. That's a good precept. Let the Lord fight for you. He telling them to do something. But what is he saying? He said, you don't need to fight this battle. Just set yourselves. Set yourselves. What is he telling them to do? Do what? Keep the law. All you got to do is be in order, and I'm going to be the one to go out there and win that battle for you. Just set yourselves. Just keep the commandments. That's it. If you go out there being in order with the commandments, then guess what? I'm going to help you win this battle, man.
Brothers got to apply that to what? To camp. Apply that to camp, man. Brothers, you're going to be holding side post, be the best side post holder for the Lord.
There he
in
is.
your life.
That's right.
Brothers that's going out there and read, be the best reader out there, man. The best flyer passer out there. If that's a word,
Nah, for real, I'm with that. The fly pass out. The good fly pass out right there, boy. That fly pass out.
do that thing to the best of your ability in the Lord, man. You have to be in order on that thing, man.
That's right. So he said, set yourself, stand still, keep the commandments. That's it. You don't have to go out here and fight. And we're gonna prove it a little bit down because they had men of war. We took carpenters and blacksmiths. We took people of workers. We didn't take men of war. They had men of war. They were trained to do this. Maccabees didn't take no trained men. They took what? Men in order. Because it wasn't about this blacksmith throwing this sword. It was about the Most High God using this blacksmith to throw that sword. It wasn't about this carpenter throwing that bow and arrow. It was about the Most High God using this carpenter to use that bow and arrow, man. Right? So when he said set yourself and stand still, he said just keep the commandments. I'm going to show up. But that was a good precept too, you 14 and 14.
See, in this, when you looking at this, man, and how the Lord expecting us to do, Negro, keep the commandments and just believe.
That's right.
Just believe you can do it. Guess what? Like you said, you get carpenters and they believed.
That's right.
They trusted the Lord. Like, look, I'm gonna put myself aside. That's why we got to refrain from our own lust. Trust the Lord.
For real, man. Your own thoughts, man. You go out there thinking too much about it, man. Why think about it? Just set yourself up, man.
That's that Psalms, because what? The Lord teaching my hands to
war. That's right. Go back to Maccabees chapter 3 and verse 19. So Judas Maccabees had to let them know, man, the Lord will deliver a small company or a multitude. You just got to be ready. You just got to believe. Keep the commandments. Read.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 19. For the victor of the battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
It ain't about the multitude of the host, but what?
But strength coming from heaven.
But strength coming from heaven. What is our strength? The laws, like Barry White, Ezra White said. The laws. What's the precept? And what? Yeah, 1 Corinthians 15 and 56, man. That's what our strength is, our laws. So that's what they were keeping. That's what he told them to stand up and just show up with the laws, being in order, right? Read on. Verse 20.
Verse 20. They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children and to spoil us.
And see, like I said, they weren't just killing us. They were trying to kill our wives and our children, man. Right? That's why we ain't letting our wives now, man. Nah. That's what they try to prey on, man. Nah, come do it to the men, the brothers, man. We out here. Right? Read.
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
But we what?
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
Brothers, what are we doing?
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
Nah, I don't believe that. Brothers, what are we doing?
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
We out here fighting for our lives and our laws, man.
These brothers ain't crying aloud.
They not, man. They not.
Man, y'all brothers lapping water like a goddamn old dog, man.
I hope y'all got the spirit of this thing, man. How we in the spirit of this thing, man. Maccabees told them we go fight for our laws and our lives, man. That's what we fight for, man. Right? We fight for our lives and our laws, man. That's what we iron for. Right? Jump down to verse 23.
Verse 23. Now, as soon as he had left off speaking, he leaped suddenly upon them. And so Saron and his host was overthrown before him. And they pursued them from the going down of Betharon unto the plain, where were slain about 800 men of them. And the residue fled into the land of the Philistines.
So you remember Saron, who was trying to do it for a name. You see what happened to him, right? Yeah. Slain. Right? Trash. Right? Read.
Then began the fear of Judas and his brethren, and an exceeding great dread to fall upon the nations round about.
So you see that now they starting to get, like I brought that precept, Revelation 11:11. Now they starting to get fear upon Judas Maccabees and the Israelites, man. Also, Ezekiel 37:11, you can put right there too, right? But now fear is reigning among these heathens. You got some out?
Yeah. Let me ask y'all, why do you think the Most High only use a few?
That's all he used to get his glory. Look how powerful he is. Like,
So the Most High can get the glory. Because what happens if he had an even number and we went out there and did it? We would give glory to ourselves. Yeah, so the Most High would always bring it down to an impossible number. 300. That store they got 300, that was us. Going against a whole nation of people, that was us that had 300. Most High was like, well, send them home. We send them home. Send them home. Just leave them with these 3. We got it.
Good.
Keep reading out.
Verse 26, and so much as his fame came unto the king, and all nations talk of the battles of Judas.
So now his name is ringing, and all nations is talking of how Judas Maccabees and his company is knocking people's heads off. Right, read.
Now when King Antiochus heard these things, he was full of indignation. Wherefore he sent and gathered together all the forces of his realm, even a very strong army.
Read.
He opened also his treasure and gave his soldiers pay for a year,
Damn.
commanding them to be ready whensoever he should need them.
You paid them in advance. You see that? Them boys got an advance.
A whole year?
A year pay just to be ready. When I call you, be ready. Right, read.
Nevertheless, when he saw that the money of his treasure failed, and that the tributes in the country were small, because of the dissension and plague which he had brought upon the land, and taken away the laws which had been of old time.
So his money or tribute had failed. You want something? His money and tribute had failed because of what? Mattathias and Maccabees winning these wars now, right? Now his tribute has failed, right? So let's see what he did.
Just like he basically lost respect. Like, nigga, we ain't been paying you no taxes. You can't even beat Judas, man. How the hell we pay you some taxes?
And not only that, though, they got that money, man, in advance. And they ain't hearing about this man over here whooping everybody. Shoot, I'm gonna take this money and go, man. I'm not gonna be going back and fighting him. So when he get calling him, where he at, man? In South Brazil, in South America, he on a vacation, on the carnival.
Yeah, remember these Edomites now. Nah, he going to fight them. Nah, we done got the money. Yeah, they getting over just like they done got over.
That's out here in the news. They say things here in the news.
That's right. Read on the what is your name? Dumb.
Verse 30. He feared that he should not be able to bear the charges any longer, nor to have such gifts to give so liberally.
So he couldn't pass out that money like he was freely now. Right? He couldn't keep doing that. Read.
As he did before, for he had been abounded above the kings that were before him.
So let's see what he did.
Wherefore, being greatly perplexed in his mind, he determined to go into Persia, there to take the tributes of the countries and to gather much money.
So he decided to go to Persia and to these other nations and start making war with them again to get some money, man, right? So he went to go try to take the lesser fight, right? The battle. Right. Right. You know, what they call pick and choosing your battle. Well, let's go to Persia. Let's knock them off, take their money, and then we'll have enough money to come back and get Judas back again.
Why? Because they didn't have God to fight with them.
That's right.
Right. Let's go to what they got some idols, man. We can go beat their ass, right? This is what they thinking. We can go whoop them. They got some idols. Man, these guys over here ain't got no idols, man. These guys, they fight when they only had like 17 people. They killed 1,000.
Yeah. And they going to nations with a whole lot of bigger armies, bigger military, bigger with a kingdom. And here we are. They going to fight them to take from them to go back and fight these, like he said, these 17 dudes.
Jump down to verse 41.
Verse 41. And the merchant And the merchants of the country, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold very much with servants, and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves.
So now when they went to Persia to fight them, they're like, well, shit, we done heard about y'all. Y'all ain't got to fight us. We'll join forces, right? We'll join forces. Read.
A power also of Syria and of the land of the Philistines joined themselves unto them.
They joined together. Well, let's go get them then. Yeah, we heard about Jews and them. Well, we can get them together. Give me this precept, 1 Maccabees 2 and 10. Because who haven't had a part to play in trying to take down the Israelites, man? See how they going to join forces? Oh, no, you ain't got to fight us. No, you ain't got to fight us. We with you. We'll give you a little money. Yeah, we just going to go with you. 1 Maccabees 2 and 10.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 2, verse 10. What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom?
What nation had not had a part in playing us, man, and trying to demise us? Right, read.
And got of her spoil.
And gotten of her spoils. What nation haven't had a part to play in this thing, man? They all have, man. Syria, Persia, the Philistines, they all like, yeah, let's go get them. Let's go get them. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees, chapter 3. Read verse 42.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 42. Now when Judas and his brethren saw that miseries were multiplied, and that the forces did encamp themselves in their borders.
It said the miseries were multiplied, right?
For they knew how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them.
Let's see what they said.
They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people.
Let us do what?
Let us restore the decayed estate of our people.
When we go out there to camp every Sabbath, we are saying what?
Let us restore the decayed estate of our people.
When we come to these classes to get built up every day, we are saying what?
Let us restore the decayed estate of our people.
Because who are we fighting for?
Our people.
Are we fighting for just ourselves?
Our people.
What are we fighting for?
Our people.
Give me a precept. Y'all should know this. What? Y'all should know this. Anybody? Oh, we fight. What?
I'm like Maccabees, man. He said we fight for our people, but our people give precepts.
Yeah, but that's it. That's what I want. So I 30 now, 30. This one. That is one. I got you. I'll praise Brother Abraham. So I 33 and 17, because we don't labor for ourselves only, right? You're not just doing this for yourself. You're doing this for your nation, right? So I 33 and 17, consider that I labor not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning, right? We're doing this for our nation, not some of them, not just ourselves. We're doing this for lottie-dottie, everybody of the nation of Israel, man. Right? That around for my father. That's right. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees. So 43, read that again.
1 Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 43.
Read.
They said one to another, let us restore the decayed estate of our people, and let us fight for our people.
Read.
And the sanctuary.
Let us fight for the people and for the sanctuary of the Most High God. Right? Read.
Then was the congregation gathered together, that they might be ready for battle, and that they might pray and ask mercy and compassion.
You see that? You see what they had to do? They said that they might be ready for battle, that they might what? Pray. We always win the battle. Before we win the battle, we pray to the Most High God, man. Right? First, that's right. So he can let us know whether we need to go into this battle or not, man. I know he's tired, man. But get a little bit of that. Get that, boy. That sleep good, too, huh? I can't get no Z's like that, yeah. You up, too. I'm up, you up. That's right.
Who is that?
But
Why he so little?
because he's slumped. That boy getting them Z's, boy.
I see his eye.
Hey, we ain't got but one more chapter, man. We ain't got but a few more. We ain't got long. Read, keep reading now.
Verse 44. Then was the congregation gathered together, that they might be ready for battle, and that they might pray
And what?
and asked mercy and compassion.
So they were praying, asking the Most High God for mercy and compassion on them, man. That's what we need to be praying for, Israel. Mercy and compassion. Read.
Now Jerusalem lay void as a wilderness. There was none of her children that went in or out. The sanctuary also was trodden down, and aliens kept the stronghold.
And who kept the stronghold?
And aliens kept the stronghold.
You see that? They always been reformed and known as aliens, man. Aliens kept the stronghold. Read.
The heathen had their habitation in that place, and joy was taken from Jacob, and the pipe with the harp ceased.
So the good music ceased, right? The joy that we had. Remember, we read these things back when our forefathers, they had great gladness and joy, right? The music was gone. Now ain't no more joy and gladness to keeping the commandments of the Most High God. It's gone. That's why they said, let us restore the decayed state of our people. What you got?
And just like what I'm touching on, man, just let's bring it up to modern day. Don't this sound like us right now? Look what he just read, man. We said Jerusalem is laid void of wilderness, man, because we ain't in our homeland, man. Right? It said none of her children that went in and out, man, and the sanctuary was trodden down. Where's our sanctuary, man? Look at our temple, man. Right? Look at our homeland. Look at our place, man. He said, man, aliens out there, man. Right? Heathens out there, man. Right? We got to start thinking, man. Y'all got to make scriptures correlate to right now. Bring them in. Right? Don't just let it think, oh, it's just for the Maccabees. It's just they dedication. This is just what they were doing. No, bring it right now to what we doing. Because if you bring it right now to what we doing, it'll make you want to read more. It'll make you want to build your spirit up more. It'll make you want to, guess what? To get more understanding. Like, dang, I really need to learn this, man. Because this is my history, man.
You bring it in the prophecy. You bring it prophecy.
Come on.
That's right. Read that.
Verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Maspah over against Jerusalem. For in Maspah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel.
You see that? They prayed aforetime, right? Read.
Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their head and rent their clothes.
Read on.
And laid open the books of the law, wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their image.
So you see, this is where we getting it from, man. They paint likeness of their images. Right now, you're starting to see where all this is coming from. From these heathen, man, doing these wicked things to our people, giving us wrong images, right? Especially of Christ for sure. But even whitewashing all of our nation of people, man. Jump down to verse 51.
Verse 51. For thy sanctuary is trodden down and profaned, and thy priests are in heaviness and brought low.
So our sanctuary was brought down and brought low. That's why we got to rebuild it back up. Read.
And lo, the heathen are assembled together against us to destroy us with things they imagine against us. Thou knowest.
Read.
How shall we be able to stand against them, except thou, O God, be our help?
You see, the things that they're imagining against us, Lord, he said, only you know. We can't even contend to think what they thinking against us, man. He said, only you know, Lord. Read.
Then sounded they with trumpets and cried with a loud voice. And after this, Judas ordained captains over the people.
Read.
Even captains over thousands and over hundreds and over 50s and over 10.
Read.
But as for such as were building houses, or had betrothed wives, or were planting vineyards, or were fearful,
or were what?
Or were fearful.
Read.
Those he commanded that they should return every man to his own house according to the law.
According to what?
According to the law.
This was according to the law. Where is this law at? If you were fearful of all these, right? If you were building houses, had betrothed a wife, right? Planting vineyards, or fearful, he commanded that you what? Nah, you can't come to this fight. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 20. According to the law. Yeah. Now start at 4.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20, verse 4. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you.
To what?
To fight for you against your enemies, to save you.
So that's a precept for what Exodus 14 and 14, right? But the Lord is who goes with us to fight for us, man. It's not you winning those battles. It's the Lord winning those battles. Read.
And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying,
Read.
What man is there? What man is there that had built a new house?
They built a new house, right?
And had not dedicated? Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle.
Right.
Another man dedicated.
That's right. Read.
And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard? And hath not yet eaten of it?
Right.
Let him also go and return into his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it.
Read.
And what man is there that has betrothed a wife and not taken her?
Read.
Let him go and return into his house, lest he die in battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted?
Read.
Let him go and return into his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
So you see that? See how the Apocrypha lines up straight with the Bible? It says according to the law, saying exactly what Deuteronomy 20 and 5 through 8 is saying, man. Right? If you were scared, go home. If you just had a new wife, go enjoy your wife, man. Right? If you planting a vineyard, you just got a new vineyard, you building a house, go take care of that. Right? The Most High God he got enough. He gonna always have enough. But you go home, right?
But so like considering the time, right? Considering the time, because I know a lot of brothers, we look at it, watch this, go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 29. Because I mean, if you very much well, guess what? If you got a wife, if you got to do all it, guess what? And if your heart filled with it, then guess what? Pretty much go do what the law says, man. Right? You got to hearken unto it, right? But read this.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29.
All right, read.
But this I say, brothers, the time is short.
So guess what? By the time being short, right? Read.
It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
What that means to brothers? Give me some understanding. Why is the scripture saying this?
It don't matter. We got to do the will of the Lord. Wife or no wife.
That's part of it. What y'all need more? You said what? No, that ain't what I'm looking for.
Is that speaking on putting God first?
Putting the Lord first. Putting the duty of the Lord first.
That's right.
This is what they're speaking on. Because we got to touch onto it because it's in the scriptures, man. We got to put the Lord first. The Lord's business over our own personal business, man. Right? How you think they was able to fight the wars and fight those different battles? Because they put the Lord's business over their own business.
That's right.
Right? That's why Paul telling the people, man, guess what? The time is short, man. Just think about this time, man. That means you got to get out of your own way. Guess what? And put the Lord even over your wife. That's why you think Christ said that if you don't hate your father, your mother, your wife, your children, guess what? You can't come to my kingdom. You can't be my disciple.
That's right.
Right? That's why Christ speak the way he spoke, because guess what? The people have to put the Lord's work over everything, man. Go ahead.
Verse 35.
Verse 35.
Yeah.
Verse 35. And this I speak for you, for your own profit. Not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is coming, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction.
And it is.
You can't get distracted in this truth, brothers and sisters. You say whether you do have a husband or a wife, even like what Officer Keenan brought out, and we all gotta always put the Lord first. And that's hard for certain brothers and sisters, man. Even to put your children above put the Most High God above your children. You know, we can't have no distractions when it comes to doing the work of the Lord. Brothers and sisters must have that spirit on them, man. Go ahead,
and Paul made that plain. He said, I'm not trying to put a snare in you. I'm not trying to tell you to go and just say F your wife and none of that like that. But he said for your gain and your profit, you need to serve the Lord without distraction. Because your wife could be a distraction sometime, right? And like I said, you can't go out, you can't let your wife go out to camp. How the hell you gonna go out to camp and your wife be out there and somebody say one thing to him? Dude, walk by trip. We had that before, right? It's a distraction, man. Right? Us being men, now we what? We go be men, and it ain't about the Lord. No, it's about my wife.
That's right. And any sisters for that matter.
That's right.
You know, like we told sisters, it's a distraction. Because like we said, our goal is solely for the work of the Lord.
That's it.
Because you know, brothers and sisters, we gonna defend our people out there. So we can't have no distraction.
And when the devil works, that's where he gonna come. He's
That's
gonna
right.
come there.
They're weaker.
Oh, he gonna come there because he knows the reaction he'll get from the men.
That's right.
But it's been times I know sisters that's been here done seen brothers do all kinds of stuff, man. Be out there, be sitting on the side, we teaching. But sisters done seen some stuff, man.
For real.
Guess what, man? Brother masturbating in front of the camera, all kind of stuff, man. Just go out there, snorting cocaine out there, right in front of the camera. Get right in front of the camera, man, doing this stuff, man.
Getting ready to be pissed on and all that other stuff.
Pissing on it, yeah.
They weren't coming at us with it. They was coming at the women with it.
That's right. So that's a great understanding that Paul gave us at that time. It is, man. But in these times, that's right. That's the law that they got it from. But like and Jerubbaal brought out, that's great. That right now, in these times, right now, it was that she didn't have a wife. You need to go out there and do the work of the Father, right? Let's go back to Maccabees. Like read, start at 57.
But in there too, we want to let brothers know, because the law said that if you need to take off, guess what? Based on the law, guess what? Do that.
That's
You
right.
brothers need to do that. Guess what? If you got your wife, you need to take your go ahead. Go take your time off. Guess what? If you afraid, go take your time off, man. Go do that. We rather you do that than for you to be a distraction out here in camp, man.
That's right.
We rather for you to do that all day long, man. If that's how you got look, and then brothers ain't mad because it's written in the law, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
57. Now.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3, verse 57. So the camp removed and pitched upon the south side of Emmanuus. And Judas said, arm yourselves.
Do what?
Arm yourselves and be valiant men.
He had to tell them to arm themselves and be valiant men, right? Read.
And see that ye be in readiness against the morning, that ye may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us, to destroy us in our sanctuary.
Read.
For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people in our sanctuary.
Read.
Nevertheless, as the will of God is in heaven, so let him do.
So he said it was better to, like you said, it was better for us to die than to let them keep doing our sanctuary like this, right? 4 and 1.
First Maccabees,
Last chapter,
4,
yeah.
verse 1. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night.
You see what Gorgias did? He took 5,000 of the best horsemen, right? And footmen, right? So these were men of war that he tried to bring up upon Judas Maccabees, right? Men of war, right? Read.
To the end he might rush in upon the camps of the Jews and smite them suddenly.
And he tried to hit us from the behind, right? Read.
And the men of the fortress were his guides. Now when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army, which was at Emmanuus. With Emmaus, while as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp.
Read.
In the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judas. And when he had found no man there, he sought them in the mountains. For said he, these fellows flee from us.
But yeah, Gorgias thought that, guess what? We had ran or something, right? Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like you pull up to the fight and you don't see nobody. All of a sudden you see on the hill, you see a bunch of Negroes just come out of nowhere like, yeah, we ready. You thought we were playing? Thought it was a game? Thought we were scared? Read.
But as soon as it was day, Judas showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men.
And he just popped up on him. Yeah, are we here? Yeah, don't worry about it. It's going down. That's what you want. That's what you finna get. Right, read.
who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their mind.
What does that mean? They neither had armor or swords to their mind. That's right. They were not men of war like that. They were just common people like we were talking about. They were just regular workers, right? They had neither armor or sword to their mind. Right, read.
And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horses. And these were expert of war.
So Goliath's army was experts of war, right? Read.
Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude, neither be ye afraid of their assault.
Read.
Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army.
So we got to put, Matthias had to put remembrance on Israel, man. Don't be scared to remember how the Most High God got us out of Egypt, man. Right, read.
Now therefore let us cry unto heaven, and peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day.
Read.
So all the heathen may know that there is none who delivereth and saveth Israel.
Read that again.
So all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel.
There is one, not none. There is one that delivered and saved Israel, right? Read.
Then the strangers lifted up their eyes and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of their camp to battle. But they that were with Judas sounded their trumpet.
But they sounded their trumpets, right? Get ready for war. Read.
So they joined battle, and the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain.
The heathen were discomfited. These were men of war, right? The 5,000 foot soldiers with the horsemen, they were men of war, and they got their butts tore off. Read.
Howbeit all the hindmost of them were slain with the sword.
Most of them were slain by the sword. Read.
For they pursued them unto Gazarim and unto the plain of Idumea.
And you see that? We sent them right back to where they was, right? We pushed them right back to Idumea, where they from. Read.
And Ephesus and Benaniyah, so that they were slain of them upon 3,000 men.
Read.
This done, Judas returned again with his host from pursuing them.
Read on.
It said to the people, be not greedy of the spoils, and as much as there is in a battle before us.
So he was like, don't be greedy of the spoils right now. It's going to be plenty of time that we're going to have to where we're going to be able to whoop them, get all what they got. Right now, we still got work to do.
Now, brothers, tell me where, guess what? He did the opposite of somebody else. Saul. Because what Saul them did, they went, guess what? In the Lord told them to go destroy the Amalekites. They took the spoils.
That's right.
That's why he said, no, y'all don't be greedy.
That's right.
Don't touch that. We finna win this thing, man.
Right. He gonna let them know we're gonna have plenty of time to do that later. Right now, it's war on our mind, right? Read this.
Verse 17, and said to the people, be not greedy of the spoils, and as much as there is a battle before us.
There's still work to do, Israel. Read.
And your giants and his host are here by us in the mountain, but stand ye now against your enemies and overcome them. And after this you may boldly take the spoil.
So when we finish this battle, then you can boldly take as many spoils as you want to. You can go taking chains off each one of them, whatever you want to do. Right now, it's war. We got to finish this war, right? Read.
As Judas was yet speaking these words, there appeared a part of them looking out of the mountain, who when they perceived that the Jews had put their host to flight and were burning the tents, for the smoke that was seen declared what was done.
Read.
When therefore they perceived these things, they were sore afraid. And seeing also the host of Judas in the plain, ready to fight.
We got these Edomites and heathens afraid of us, man. And that's what they are today. They are afraid of us when they see us in order. Read.
They fled every one into the land of strangers.
Read.
Then Judas returned to spoil the tents, where they got much gold and silver and blue silk and purple of the sea and great riches.
Read on.
After this, they went home and sung a song of thanksgiving.
They did what?
After this, they went home and sung a song of thanksgiving.
It's the only kind of thanksgiving we need to be doing. A song of thanksgiving to the Most High God. We ain't doing no damn Thanksgiving with no turkey stuffing and dressing and cranberry sauce, man. All Thanksgiving, we need to be doing is singing a song to the Most High God. Read.
And praise the Lord in heaven, because it is good.
Read on.
Mercy endureth forever.
Read 25.
Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day.
Read that again.
Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day.
And that's what we have to do. We got to keep pushing so that we can have a great deliverance that come upon Israel again, man, right? Jump over to verse 38.
Verse 38. And when they saw the sanctuary desolate, and the altar profaned,
Read.
and the gates burnt up, and shrubs growing in the courts, as in a forest,
Read.
or in one of the mountains, yea, and the priest's chambers pulled down.
So you see, we had left the sanctuary at that time, right? We had fled away from it. We weren't keeping the laws and keeping it up. So they see that the sanctuary was full of shrubs. The grass ain't cut. The standard grass look good, right? Main grass look good. Now it's time to restore the decayed state of the sanctuary. Read.
Verse 39. They rent their clothes and made great lamentation and cast ashes upon their heads.
Read.
And fell down flat to the ground upon their faces and blew an alarm with the trumpets and cried towards heaven.
Say, man, we had never seen an altar look like that before, man. This was the temple of the Most High God, and it was looking like a desolate, trash place, man. To the point where they fell down, worshiped, and was like, man, we finna get this thing back in order, man. We don't won these battles. Now we got time and chance to get this thing back cleansed again, man. Right? Jump down to verse 43.
Verse 43. Who cleansed the sanctuary and bar out the defiled stones into an unclean place.
Read.
And when, as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane,
What did they do?
they thought it best to pull it down.
They thought it best to do what?
To pull it down.
Read.
Lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it, wherefore they pulled it down.
So what did they do? They decided to pull down the altar. To what? And if you bring it down, what you gonna redo? You're gonna rebuild it. So we're not doing sacrifices anymore, but what are we giving back now?
Our bodies.
So what should we be doing with our bodies? But how? Killing off that old man, that old woman, rebuilding your temple, dying daily.
Pulling down strongholds from this wicked society.
That's right.
Casting down imagination. This, what it says, all spiritual, man.
It is. Mortifying your members. Cutting off things that are not good and profitable for you to make it to the kingdom. They decided to what? Rebuild the temple. That's what we got to do. We got to rebuild our lives and dedicate it back to the Most High God.
Let me get that 2 Corinthians right quick. 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 4. Start at verse 3. Because like we say, it's always a physical side to it, but most important, it's always a what? A spiritual side.
That's right.
Brothers got to see that. Sisters have to learn to see that, man. Read that out.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 3. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh.
Now we know during the time of the Maccabees, they was literally what? Warring in the flesh. But during this time, this is more of a what? A spiritual fight, man.
That's right.
Brothers and sisters, know what you deal with. Stop meddling in those sins. I'm telling you, man. Can't nothing good come out of them, man. That's why we literally have the scriptures for our example. Read on out.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty.
But what?
But mighty.
Read on out.
Through God.
Through who?
Through God.
Read on out.
To the pulling down of strongholds.
To the pulling down of strongholds. During that time, it was a physical stronghold. The Greeks had our people in a stronghold. They still do today.
That's right.
Read on out.
Casting down imagination.
Casting down imaginations. Imaginations like the law is done away with. Then guess what? We don't have to keep the feast of dedication. That we can eat pork. That you can just do whatever you want with your wife. That a wife can be out of order with her husband. That children don't have to be out of order. Be out of order. Those are imaginations. Read on out.
Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God.
Read on.
And bringing into captivity.
And doing what?
And bringing into captivity.
Bringing into captivity, meaning what? The things that you deal with. Read on out.
every thought,
every what?
every thought
Read on,
to the obedience of Christ.
to the obedience of Christ, man. Meaning what? Get your mind in order, man. Rededicating your mind, your spirit, and your body back to the Most High. Go
We're
ahead.
done on that, man. That's right. Bringing down those imaginations, man. Casting all those thoughts that are wrong with the Most High God in captivity, man. Locking them things up, man. Let's go back to 1 Maccabees 4:47.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 47. When they took whole stones according to the law, and built a new altar according to the former.
And they built a new altar. They rebuilt the altar, right? 52.
Verse 52.
Hold up right quick, man. What? Remember, it's symbolic. What precept can brothers go to?
Leviticus 24, 1 through 4, and Exodus 25 to 31.
We are as lively stones.
Oh,
No.
In the area of First Peter. Remember, man, this is all symbolic, man. We are as lively stones, man. Remember that altar that we building up now is what is ourself, is our spirit, man. Go ahead,
Hey, big con on that, man. It's a great precept. I seen it hit him. That's what it should do, man. Precept should just hit you, man.
That's right.
It should just talk to you when you're reading precept, when you're reading scriptures. 52.
Verse 52. Now on the 5 and 20th day of the 9th month, which is called the month Caslu, in the 148th year, they rose up betimes in the morning.
Read.
And offered sacrifice according to the law upon the new altar.
Upon the what?
Upon the new altar.
Upon the new altar. Read.
Of burnt offerings, which they had made.
Read. Knowing that those new burnt offerings is what? Our life. Sacrificing our life. Read.
Look at what time and what day the heathen had profaned it, even in that it was dedicated with songs and cisterns and harps and cymbals. Then all the people fell upon their faces, worshiping and praising the God of heaven.
Read.
Who had given them good success.
Who had given them what?
Good success.
So we have received good success, man, from what? Mattathias, his sons, right? From the Syrians joining forces, those that were keeping the laws. Read.
Verse 56. And so they kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
They did what?
They kept the dedication of the altar 8 days.
Read.
And offered burnt offerings with gladness. And sacrifice of deliverance and praise.
So now we getting back to what? Dedicating our lives with gladness, man, right? Praising the Most High God, being glad of the mercies and compassion that He's had upon us. Read.
They decked also the forefront of the temple with crowns of gold and with shields.
So you know it's okay to what? Decorate your house and stuff now.
That's right.
Sisters, if y'all want to do some decorating, this is the time. Right? You know, they doing that decorating for Christmas, that wicked holiday, but it's okay for us to decorate our houses, man, for the Feast of Dedication, man. Right? Read.
And with shields and the gates and the chambers, they renewed and hanged doors upon them. Thus was there very great gladness among the people, for that the reproach of the heathen was put away.
So it's glad, it ought to be gladness that we put that reproach of the world away from us. You ought to be glad that you're not thinking of Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff no more. You ought to be glad of that, man. Right? Read.
So like verse 59, moreover, Judas and his brethren with the whole congregation of Israel ordained that the days of the dedication.
Now, just some of the congregation of Israel.
With the whole congregation of Israel.
You can't get around this, man. You need to be celebrating the Feast of Dedication, man. Right? With the whole congregation of Israel ordained what?
That the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season.
Should be kept in their season. When did Christ keep the dedication?
Winter.
In the winter. What month did He tell us? Caslu, the 9th month, right? Read.
Should be kept in their season from year to year.
From what?
From year to year.
Read.
By the space of 8 days. From the 5 and 20th day of the month Caslu.
From the 25th day of Caslu. Read.
With mirth and gladness.
With what?
With mirth and and gladness.
That's why we gotta have great gladness on our faces today, Israel, man, coming into this feast of dedication, right? Read on.
At that time also, they built up the Mount Zion with high walls and strong towers round about, lest the Gentiles should come and tread it down, as they had done before.
So now you ought to be building up your life with strongholds. You ought to be fortifying your life that the nation, that the world can't come and bring you any mess anymore, right? That's right on time. So read on.
And they set there a garrison to keep it, and fortified Bethsura to preserve it, that the people might have a defense against Idumea.
Against who?
Against Idumea.
Who are the main counterparts of this?
Against Idumea.
All praises to the Most High God for this lesson today. We know it was long. I told y'all Israel was going to be reading today. All praises that we received this coming into our dedication tonight. We pray that brothers and sisters got edified, that they have understanding hearts and ears to receive this message. We pray that brothers and sisters have great traveling grace this evening, that the angel of protection be upon us this evening, man, and getting ready for a gladness and joyous occasion of the feast of dedication. Con, turn up, con. We always say keep the laws of the Most High God. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 4 and 2. Oh yeah, you want to? Let's just read that. Let's go back. That's what we can just read that First Maccabees again. Yeah, let's just read First Maccabees 4:59 down. We'll leave y'all with this law, man.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 59. Moreover, Judas and his brethren, with the whole congregation of Israel, ordained that the days of the dedication of the altar should be kept in their season from year to year by the space of 8 days.
So we keep the dedication 8 days, read.
From the 5 and 20th day of the month cast with mirth and gladness.
With what?
Mirth and gladness.
So this is what we're coming into, feast of dedication. That's our law for today. Like we said, brothers and sisters, be ready to celebrate this this joyous occasion. We'll be here tomorrow, also Tuesday, which is new moon. And you know, the ball is Saturday night, Sabbath night. So let's get ready to enjoy this great 8 day span. Anything else y'all got, brother? Turn up. With that, we say shalom, Israel.